In the far reaches of a doomed galaxy, where gods eat souls and shadows breathe, where the warp howls and the stars bleed green, another myth is torn from one universe and thrown screaming into another. A low rumble begins like tectonic plates grinding. He is anger given muscle, fury given form, cataclysm trapped in flesh. Lightning cracks across an unseen horizon, from worlds already shattered by his footsteps, from battles where mountains crack beneath his pulse, from a lifetime of rage rising without limit. The rumble becomes a heartbeat. Thum, 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 he comes. Wind accelerates, carrying dust, debris, gamma scent. Dragged through a tear in reality, hurled through the Imperium screaming tide. The heartbeat grows louder. The green titan arrives. A whisper follows, like countless orcs speaking at once. Smash! 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 Then the narrator returns, voice darker, deeper. He is confusion incarnate. He is wrath waiting to awaken. He is strength with no ceiling. The rumble swells into a violent crescendo. And when this galaxy tests him, when horrors try to swallow him, when Xenos and Psychers and monsters press in, a silence sharp enough to hurt, he will answer in the only language he knows. A single whispered word, Hulk. Then the narrator detonates, and all shall break. The void groans, not loudly, not violently, but like something massive is being dragged across the bones of the universe. A smear of green light tears through the immaterium. A comet trailing gamma, warp fire, and raw emotion. For a moment the warp recoils. Daemons hiss and withdraw like animals sensing wildfire. The tides of madness churn. Colors invert, something ancient mutters, "What is that?" The comet screams across unreality, a shape flickering inside the emerald blaze, large, hunched, breathing hard, clenched fists like newborn suns, a heartbeat like artillery. Thum, thum, thum! The warp cannot decide what it hates more, his fury or the fact that it cannot corrupt it. Gamma energy lashes out, carving channels through the screaming dimension. Warp tentacles reach to grab him and burn away. Psychic predators pounce and retreat instantly, howling. The comet punches through the final boundary between immaterium and real space. A tear opens. A world below spins by, scarred by war, choked in spores, crawling with green life and chitinous nightmares. Then, impact. A green star crashes into the planet's surface, throwing up dirt and fungal dust for kilometers. Shockwaves ripple into the horizon. Orks miles away pause mid-fight. Tyranid bioforms screech and scatter. Smoke clears around the crater. The shape inside stirs. A giant, green skin breathing like a cornered predator. Eyes glowing not with fear, but with warning. Confused, cautious, quietly furious, he pushes in the smoking earth, and the galaxy feels it. A pressure, a presence, a promise. The Hulk has arrived, and somewhere across the plains, a distant orc voice shouts, "What in Gork's green gizzard was that?" The Hulk, confused and cautious, awakens on an orc-infested world, moments before the Tyranids arrive. The crater still smokes. The air is thick with fungal spores, grease, gun smoke, and the acidic tang of Tyranid ichor drifting on the wind. The Hulk lifts his head. Eyes glow a deep green. His breath comes in slow, controlled rumbles, the breathing of something trying not to be provoked. Yet his fists clench on instinct. He's not sure where he is or how he got here, only that he remembers a moment of warp fire swallowing him whole. And now he stands in a realm that feels wrong. Very wrong. He rises from the crater like a mountain waking from sleep. Around him the ground shifts. He hears it before he sees them. "Wah! Wah! Who's out there?" Voices, hundreds, guttural and gleefully violent. Green figures gather near the crater rim, big, brutish silhouettes. Some carry cleavers the size of steel girders. Others lug weld guns patched with scrap. A few have helmets that appear to be old car engines with horns glued on. One steps forward, a knob, towering and muscle-bound, with metal plates bolted into his skin. He squints down into the smoking pit. "What in the wag is this?" Another orc yells. Some think big landed, bigger'n you, boss. The knob snarls. Nobody's bigger than me. He puffs out his chest and jumps into the crater. He lands with a thud, kicking up dust. He looks up and sees Hulk. The knob's eyes widen. Then he grins, tusks gleaming. Hello, Dare. The Hulk stares back, confused. Where? Hulk? The knob's grin grows wider. Where? You're on me, Boss Grinder's world, you big green git, where's on this place? Now, he raises a massive metal fist. Let's see if you're tough enough to stay. The knob charges. Hulk watches him come. Confusion becomes irritation. Irritation becomes anger. Not much, just a spark, then swings. Hulk catches the punch, effortlessly. The knob freezes, jaw-dropping. Uh-oh. Hulk lifts him by the arm, and with a casual flick of his wrist, slams him into the crater wall. The earth splits. A shockwave cracks the ground. Orks above stagger, wide-eyed. One whispers, Boss? The knob slides down the wall like a rag doll before passing out. Hulk stands in the center of the crater, breathing softly, hands unclenched. He did not want to fight. He did not start this. But now the Orks stare down at him with awe. Not fear, awe. Aye, one murmurs. He's greener'n us. Another, he's stronger'n the boss. Another, he's bigger'n Nidzilla. And a final whispers, is that Gork? Or is it Mork? Or is it both? The Wog energy around them crackles. This is the beginning, the moment belief starts to shift, the moment the Orks unknowingly begin empowering the strongest being they've ever seen. Before Hulk can react, a distant screech cuts the air. Not Orky, not human, something far worse. The ground trembles with approaching claws. A tide of chitinous shadows emerges on the horizon. Tyranids, and lots of them. The Orks look from the swarm to the Hulk, to each other. Then one shouts, Get the big green one to help, we got bugs to crump. Hulk turns toward the screeching horde. Confusion still in his eyes, but something in that sound, that predatory hunger, that alien threat, sparks something deeper inside him. Anger, and rising anger is rising power. The Hulk stands beside a tribe of Orks for the first time. The Tyranids pour across the horizon, and an alliance born of instinct, confusion, and raw respect is forged. The air turns acidic. The ground shudders beneath 1,000 skittering legs. On the horizon, the first wave of Tyranids crests like a living tidal surge, chitin flashing, claws clicking, synapse creatures screeching psychic commands into the air. Orks stare out across the plains, squinting. One mutters, That's a lot of bugs. A second, That's a wide lot of bugs. And finally a third, That's enough bugs for a proper fight. They raise their weapons, roaring with delight. Hulk stands among them, fists clenched, still confused, still cautious. But that ancient instinct inside him, the primal part that knows danger better than thought, begins to rise. His breathing grows deeper, his muscles coil, his eyes narrow as the first screeching gaunt sprint toward the crater. The knob he slammed into the wall, now waking up, points at Hulk from the dirt. Oi, big green git, you better smash some o' them bugs, or we smash you. Hulk turns slowly. The Orks freeze. They see something shift in his expression. Confusion melting, caution fading, rage stirring. He doesn't shout. He doesn't roar. He just says in a deep, gravelly whisper, Hulk, smash! The Wog energy vibrates like a drum strike. The Orks go still. Then roar as one. Da big green git said da word. The tide of Tyranids crests into the crater. Gaunts leap. Ravener coils snap. Warriors screech psychic pain. And Hulk moves. A gaunt lunges. Hulk grabs it by the skull. Squeezes. It pops like a ripe fruit. Another leaps. Hulk slams it into the ground so hard the shockwave launches 3 more into the air. A Ravener coils around him, claws digging into his back. Hulk reaches behind him, rips the creature in half. Orks stare, stunned and ecstatic. Once that's how you do it, lads. Watch him good. Another, he's doing a right proper whack already. A third, look, he don't even need a shooter. The knob, still groggy, points a trembling finger at Hulk. That's a real fighter. The synapse creatures feel it immediately. A presence, a mass, a will, A threat. Warrior broods angle toward the crater. Zoanthropes hover closer, gathering psychic charge. The hive mind reaches through the synaptic web, attempting to probe the massive green anomaly. A low psychic hum builds. Hulk winces, clutching his temple. The orcs look confused. What's wrong with him? Is he having a think? No. He's getting zapped into brain. The psychic lance hits Hulk's mind like a hot spike. He staggers, snarls. He's not angry enough yet to ignore it. Not yet. He feels the hive mind trying to understand him, to read him, to measure him, to decide if he is prey. The mind voice whispers, assimilate, assimilate. Hulk roars. Orcs cheer. He's waking up. He's getting good and angry now. Two gaunts leap toward Hulk's back. An orc shoots them midair. He yells at Hulk, "Ya got bugs on you, big un!" Hulk glances at the little green warrior. The orc grins. "Don't worry, mate. Wag is with ya!" The belief hits Hulk like a slap. A ripple of psychic wag energy rolls off the orc mob. It flows into Hulk's aura. Gamma resonates with that belief. Warp energy, still clinging to him, amplifies it further. Hulk's eyes glow brighter. Muscles thicken. His heartbeat accelerates. A new power enters his veins, raw and primal. The orcs feel it too. They all freeze in awe. He got bigger. No way. That's wag juice. He's drinking the wag without drinking the wag. The knob screams, "That's impossible." Another orc yells, "No, it ain't. This is wag country." The knob stares at Hulk and bows his head in respect. Big Green, you's one o' us. Hulk doesn't fully understand, but something inside him responds to their belief, their excitement, their instinctive respect, and he turns back to the Tyranid swarm with fists clenched. The psychic pressure pounding his mind, his anger rising faster, stronger, hotter. He cracks his knuckles and growls, "Hulk smash, bugs!" The orcs go insane with joy. He said it again, whack! The Tyranid swarm rushes the crater. The orcs charge. Hulk leaps into the air, shadow falling across dozens of chitinous horrors. In that moment, he is not alone. He is not lost. He is not confused. He is the center of a growing wag, and the galaxy shudders. The Tyranid swarm crashes into the crater. The orcs roar their approval, and Hulk becomes the center of a rising psychic storm of belief and rage. The first major wave of Tyranids hits like a living avalanche. Dozens of gaunts leap from the crater rim, chittering and hissing. Raveners coil and spring. Warrior forms screech and level bioweapons. The orcs charge to meet them, forming a sloppy but enthusiastic semicircle around Hulk. The wag energy thickens, buzzing in the air like static. One orc shouts over the thunder of approaching claws, "All right, lads, stick close to the big green un. He's a walking fortress." Hulk hears that, and something inside him responds. He doesn't understand the word fortress, but he understands safe. He understands strength. He understands allies, even if he wouldn't admit it. And the belief of the orcs washes through him again. It feels warm, empowering, familiar in some strange way, like the roar of a crowd before a battle, or the adrenaline spike before a punch. Gamma reacts to the wag. Warp residue reacts to the gamma. A green-white heat ripples over Hulk's skin. His muscles swell slightly. His fists crack the air as he flexes. The orcs gasp, "He got bigger again. Boss, that ain't normal." "That's better than normal." The knob yells, "Get ready, lads. Hold the line with the big green git." The Tyranids hit. A tide of claws, teeth, spines, and screeches. A gaunt leaps at Hulk. He backhands it so hard the creature atomizes into mist. A ravener tries to coil around him. He grabs its tail and slams it into the ground so hard it cracks the surface. A warrior raises a venom cannon. Hulk picks up a dead gaunt and throws it like a baseball. The projectile hits the warrior, snapping its spine in half. Orcs cheer wildly. "Look at him! He don't even need to aim. He's a proper smasher!" Gork's grinning and Mork's laughing. Hulk hears the words Gork and Mork, doesn't know what they mean, but the energy in the air, the belief, the excitement, it's feeding him. Every punch feels stronger. Every roar shakes the sky. The Y is merging with his gamma aura, not corrupting, enhancing. High above the fray, 3 floating Tyranid psychers drift forward, surrounded by a crackling psychic corona. Their combined minds speak as one. Assimilate, assimilate, assimilate. A psychic lance of force slams into Hulk's skull. He recoils, staggers. A growl builds in his chest. The synapse creatures push harder. Their combined psychic will try to penetrate his mind, read his memories, map his biology, subdue him, claim him. Hulk roars in pain, a sound that shakes the crater walls. Orks stare in shock. What's happening to him? The bugs is trying to think in his head. That ain't allowed. That's cheating. Hit him! Shoot him! Do something! They fire wildly at the zoanthropes, but the psychic shields deflect or melt the shots. The psychic assault continues. Images flash across Hulk's mind. Painful experiments. Betrayal, lost worlds, rage, suppressed fear, confusion, isolation. The warps scream, the Tyranid hives whisper. Join, join, join. And inside Hulk, something snaps. Not his mind, not his body, but a chain. Hulk's aura erupts. Gamma energy explodes outward in a green shockwave. Wok energy fuses into it like gasoline hitting fire. The crater floor cracks. Air ripples. Orks are blasted back, but none are harmed. Warp residue ignites around Hulk and spirals. The psychic lance shatters. The zoanthropes recoil in terror. One whispers psychically, "The mind is burning. The mind, the mind." Hulk lifts his head. His eyes glow with a blinding radioactive emerald light. And he speaks through clenched teeth. "Get out!" Hulk's head. The words detonate. The psychic feedback hits the zoanthropes like a sledgehammer. All 3 drop from the sky like broken toys, their brains ruptured by the backlash. Orks scream with delight. "That was amazing!" He done smashed them bug minds. He smashed them without even touching them. He's one of the gods. The knob coughs blood, wipes his mouth, and shouts, "You lads see it? The big green get us a wob by himself!" The Tyranids hesitate. For the first time in this battle, they do not rush. They do not charge. They reevaluate. Because something in the psychic network is wrong. The hive mind peers through its synaptic web. It sees the green titan, surrounded by excited orks, empowered by belief, burning with gamma and warp energy. And the hive mind whispers to itself, "Danger." Hulk lifts his head, smiles a little, then cracks his knuckles. Round 2. Orks explode into cheers. The Tyranids regroup. The Orks rally behind Hulk, and the first true fusion of gamma rage and wag belief begins to take shape. The air is hot with dust and ichor. The crater floor is torn, splintered, still trembling from the shockwave Hulk unleashed. Dead Tyranids litter the ground, crushed, torn, pulverized. And in the middle of it all stands Hulk, breathing heavily, aura crackling, green eyes glowing like burning emeralds, muscles twitching with building anger. The Orks gather around him in a ragged circle, covered in bug gore, weapons raised, teeth flashing in wide grins. One Ork shouts, "He did it! He scared the bugs!" Another roars, "We got ourselves a proper wak leader!" A third screams, "He ain't just a leader, he's a walking waff!" The knob, clutching his cracked ribs, limps to Hulk's side. He looks up at the Titan towering over him. "Big green git, you smash good," Hulk snorts. "That not smash, just warm up." The Orks freeze, every single one, then they erupt like a bomb. "He said warm up? He ain't even started yet? Aye, boys, this is gonna be the best day ever." Across the plains, the swarm shifts. Gaunts part. Raveners coil, warriors screech and reform ranks, and behind them, a new shadow rises. A creature 3 times the size of a warrior, towering, plated, glowing with synaptic runes. A Tyranid prime. Its presence stabilizes the scattered synapse web. The psychic fog lifts. Command ripples through the hive, and the hive mind focuses on Hulk. It examines him, measures him, evaluates. A psychic whisper spreads through the swarm. Adapt, consume, evolve. The Tyranid prime points its bone sword toward the crater. The attack begins again. Orks see the new monster. Their eyes light up. One yells, "That one looks bigger than you, boss!" The Nob snarls, "Shut it, nothing's bigger than him." He jabs a finger at Hulk. "All right, lads, we charge when the big green get charges." The Orks roar their approval. Wah! Hulk glances down at the mob around him. So loud, so reckless, so eager to fight. And for reasons he doesn't fully understand, he doesn't mind them. They are simple, direct, honest in their violence, and they are looking to him, not with fear, but belief. He can feel it, like pressure on his skin, like heat, like a crowd cheering a fighter stepping into the ring. Gamma pulses in time with that belief. His aura flares. The Orks believe he can win. And that belief is starting to make him stronger. Hulk clenches his fists. Follow Hulk. The Orks go silent for 1 second. Then explode. He talking like a boss. No, he talking like Gork. Or maybe Mork. No time to decide. Let's just smash. The Tyranid Prime roars and leads the swarm forward. Hulk roars back. It isn't a shout of fear or pain or confusion. It is a challenge, a promise, a declaration. Hulk, smash! The ground shakes as he sprints forward, each footfall cracking stone. Orks surge behind him like a noisy green tide. The two forces collide, and the war truly begins. The Tyranid Prime swings its bone sword downward with psychic force behind it. Hulk catches the blade in one hand. The psychic shock ripples through his arm, burning muscle. He snarls, anger rising. Orks gasp in awe. He caught it! He caught a bug sword! He's stronger than a Titan! The Tyranid Prime screeches and pushes harder. The hive mind channels more psychic force. The blade begins to press closer to Hulk's face. His teeth grit. Inside his skull, the psychic pressure returns, stabbing, whispering, probing. Submit, submit, submit. The words hit the same nerve as before, a deep trauma, an old scar, a memory of being controlled, experimented on, used. And something inside Hulk snaps again, deeper this time. He roars, a sound thick with fury. His grip tightens on the bone sword. The blade cracks. The Tyranid Prime recoils, and Hulk's fist rockets forward, smashing into the Prime's chest, launching the monster backwards dozens of meters. Orks lose their minds. Did you see that? He punched a Prime. He made a Prime fly. He's a demigod of smashing. The Nob's jaw hangs open. That weren't even his full strength. He looks up at Hulk and whispers the first hint of what is coming. We ain't following a boss, we following a legend. The Tyranid Prime rises from the dirt. Hulk cracks his knuckles again. The Orks pound on their chests in excitement, and somewhere deep in the warp, a ripple spreads. A new presence is forming, a new god being shaped. Not of chaos, not of order, not of death or decay, but of unlimited rage, faith, and green fire. The Tyranid Prime regains its footing. The Orks scream in frenzy, and Hulk takes another step toward becoming something this galaxy has never seen. The Tyranid Prime drags itself upright, chitin cracked, ichor dripping. Its chest cavity is dented inward from Hulk's punch, an impact few beings could survive. It throws back its head and unleashes a psychic shriek that ripples across the battlefield. Gaunts surge forward in a frenzy. Warriors reposition, raising biocannons. Raveners coil in ambush arcs. The synaptic network tightens like a fist. The hive mind is done testing. It wants Hulk dead, now. The Orks see the swarm reorganizing. One shouts, "Da bugs look mad." Another replies, "Good, let 'em get mad. We got our own madness, writer." He slaps Hulk's leg like it's a tank hull. Hulk gives him a look. The Ork laughs nervously and backs away. The Nob limps forward again, wiping blood from his nose. All right, Big Green. You smash, we stab. You roar, we shoot. You lead, we wah! Hulk tilts his head. He understands the words smash and roar. He understands fight better than speech. But wah! That he feels. The word vibrates in his bones, a mixture of belief, violence, joy, and raw willpower. The energy in the air thickens around him as the Orks chant, "Wah! Wah!" His heartbeat synchronizes with their rhythm. Gamma pulses, warp residue flickers. His skin begins to glow faintly green. Something ancient stirs in him, and the Orks sense it. The Tyrannid Prime marches back toward Hulk. It roars, barbed tail cracking like a whip, bone swords raised. The psychic voice of the hive mind focuses entirely on him. Consume the Alpha. Break the Alpha. Devour the Alpha. Hulk growls. Try. The Prime leaps, a blur of claws and chitin. Hulk charges, a blur of rage and muscle. They collide with an impact that sends dust clouds rolling like thunderheads. The Tyrannid Prime slashes with bone swords. Hulk blocks with one arm. The impact cuts into his skin, drawing blood. Orks gasp. He's bleeding? No way. That just means he's gonna hit harder. They are correct. Hulk sees blood. Hulk gets angry. Anger makes him stronger. He grabs the Prime and slams it into the ground so hard the earth cracks in a spiderweb pattern. The Prime retaliates with a psychic blast point blank into Hulk's skull. Hulk roars in pain. The psychic force burns through his mind. Images of assimilation, digestion, the crushing unity of the hive mind. Become us. No. His fist comes down. Once, twice, 3 times. Each strike craters the ground deeper. The Prime flails, screeching. The psychic web wavers. The hive mind feels something it rarely feels. Doubt. Orks pour past Hulk, screaming and firing wildly. Get to bump him! Smash him to paste! A few daring Orks charge the Prime itself, only for Hulk to gently push them aside with one arm. Mine! The Orks freeze mid-charge, then erupt in cheers. That's right! Let him have it! He callin'. Dibs! He's the best boss we never asked for! Desperate, the Tyrannid Prime lunges with its tail, stabbing straight into Hulk's torso. Orks scream. Big Green! No! But then they go silent as Hulk grabs the tail and pulls it out of himself with a wet crack. The wound closes almost instantly as gamma-boosted regeneration surges. Hulk looks at the Prime and smiles. A terrifying, slow, malicious smile. Bad move. He lifts the Tyrannid Prime overhead by its neck. The creature thrashes, screeches, claws, but Hulk's grip tightens like a hydraulic press. Veins bulge, eyes glow. Why? Energy surges around him like green lightning. He roars, Hulk, smash! And brings the Prime down across his knee with a sickening, earth-splintering snap. The spine breaks. The Prime goes limp. The psychic network collapses into chaos. Tyranids screech in confusion and pain as the hive mind's local stability crumbles. The Orks stare, silent, stunned. Then, yeah! That's how you smash a big bug. He broke it like a tooth. Their cheering swells, louder, stronger, more unified. Waff! Energy floods the crater like a green tide. It washes over Hulk, and he grows. Not by much, just a little. But the Orks see it, and belief becomes absolute. He's getting bigger every time. He's feeding on Dewak. Is he one of the gods? The Nob bows his head, not out of weakness, out of reverence. Big Green, you ain't just a fighter. You ain't just a boss. You're the storm. Hulk looks down at his fists, feels the power rising, feels the whack mixing with gamma, and deep inside, something begins to awaken. A spark, a seed, a beginning. The Prime is dead. The hive mind reels. The Orks worship. And Hulk feels something new stirring inside him, something vast, violent, and godlike. Dust settles over the battlefield. The bisected corpse of the Tyrannid Prime twitches faintly on the cracked earth. Around it, gaunts screech and scatter, their synaptic connection momentarily broken. The Orks stand in stunned silence, weapons lowered, mouths open. Even the loudest among them can only whisper, "He snapped a big bug. Snapped it like a stick. Never seen nothing like dat." The Nob, still breathing hard, steps forward. He stands beside Hulk, small, battered, bleeding, but defiant. He stares up at the Green Titan, voice awed. Big Green, you just did what even a war boss can't do. He gestures toward the broken Prime. You beat the hive mind's champion with your bare hands. Hulk says nothing. He's breathing heavily, not from exhaustion, but from the rising heat inside him. Gamma and Y crackle through his veins like twin storms merging. His aura flickers and pulses, a swirling mix of green and warp-twisted white. The Orks feel it. Some step back in reverence, others step closer, drawn to it like moths to flame. One bold orc places a hand on Hulk's calf. The moment he touches Hulk, a spark of wog shoots up his arm. He yelps and staggers backward. He's buzzing. Hulk's humming with wog power. He's a zogging wog battery. Hulk clenches his fists. He doesn't understand all the words, but he feels their belief, their excitement, their faith in him. And that faith, it feels good. Across the plains, the Tyranids halt their retreat. A new psychic weight falls upon the battlefield. Heavier, colder, more calculating. The hive tyrant arrives, towering, blade-armed, warp-fed, eyes burning with synaptic fury. Its arrival stabilizes the entire swarm, screeching. The gaunt stop screeching. The raveners coil in anticipation. The hive mind's voice booms across the psychic landscape. The alpha must be broken. The alpha must be taken. The alpha must feed us. And then, synaptic resonance protocol, assimilate the gamma beacon. The tyrant raises its arms. A psychic blast detonates across the field. Hulk staggers, gripping his skull. The orcs fall to their knees, howling as the psychic pressure cracks their crude helmets. The knob collapses beside Hulk, screaming in pain. "I's trying to eat our brains," Hulk snarls. The psychic claws tear into his mind. Not gently, not probing, but aggressively, violently, trying to rewrite him, trying to break him, trying to digest him on a psychic level. The hive tyrant whispers into Hulk's skull, "Become, become, become." Hulk roars in pain. His knees buckle. This psychic attack is stronger than the zoanthropes, more focused, more invasive. Inside him, anger surges. Gamma plasma ripples through his blood. Walk energy answers it like thunder, answering lightning. His skin glows brighter, brighter, until the ground beneath him begins to crack. The orcs see him struggling. They do not retreat. They charge. They hurl themselves at the tyrant and the gaunts. They fire wildly. They scream in defiance. But the psychic pressure is too much. Their bodies shake their noses. Bleed, some collapse. Yet through it all they yell, "Don't let the bugs take him. He belongs to us. Big Green, we believe in ya. Get up, get angry. Give him the old smasher. We need ya, Big Green." Those words hit Hulk like gasoline poured onto a fire. The belief slams into him. Raw, reckless, orky faith. Wag energy pours into him. He growls through clenched teeth. Pain becomes pressure. Pressure becomes fury. Fury becomes power. His eyes ignite, 2 radioactive stars, and something inside him breaks free. Hulk stands, slowly, forcibly, defiantly. The hive tyrant's psychic claws struggle to hold him down. The orcs gasp, "He's standing." The hive tyrant's brain blast melts tanks. Hulk's voice is a low work. Get out of Hulk's head. He pushes upward. Every muscle flexing, every vein bulging gamma and wog swirling around him. The psychic grip falters. The hive tyrant shrieks in confusion. The orcs scream in triumph. "He's beating the tyrant's mind. He's a propagod. Go Big Green, go!" And then Hulk unleashes it. A shockwave of combined gamma radiation and wog psychic force erupts from him. The blast is visible, a dome of burning green light expanding outward. Gaunts vaporize instantly. Raveners rupture like overfilled sacks. Warriors are thrown across the battlefield like toys. The hive tyrant staggers, its psychic focus shattered. The ground shakes for miles. Orcs hold on to rocks and each other, laughing hysterically. "That's it. That's what we mean. Do it again. More. Give us more." Hulk stands at the center of the devastation, glowing, crackling steam rising from his skin. He looks at his hands. They tremble with new power. Not pure gamma. Not pure rage. Something else. Something bigger. The hive tyrant shrieks and charges toward Hulk, enraged and desperate. The orcs rally behind the giant without hesitation, and Hulk whispers to himself, not in fear, but in grim realization, Hulk getting stronger. Far across the warp, something ancient shifts and watches and begins to understand what he is becoming. The tyrant charges. The orcs brace, and Hulk takes another step toward becoming a god born of fury and belief. The hive tyrant screeches, a psychic roar that shakes loose stones from the crater walls. The remaining Tyranids snap back into motion as the swarm regains coherence. The tyrant lowers its massive head, bone crest glowing with synaptic runes, and charges like a living siege engine. The Orks gape at the sight. Dat bug's huge, bigger'n the prime, more fighting for us. But one thing is clear, they all expect Hulk to meet it. And that expectation hits Hulk like another wave of wog. A choir of Orky voices in his subconscious. Come on, big un. Show him what for. Break that bug. Use the strongest. Gamma surges. Muscles thicken. The air around him distorts. Hulk takes one step forward. The ground crunches beneath his bare foot. He lowers his center of mass, leaning in like a linebacker ready to shatter a wall. The Orks go utterly silent. Even they understand that something big is about to happen. The hive tyrant slams into Hulk like a freight train. The impact sends a shockwave across the battlefield. Dust bursts upward in a geyser. The ground cracks. For a heartbeat, it looks like both are evenly matched. Then Hulk digs his feet into the earth, one foot, then the other. He stops the tyrant's momentum. The hive mind recoils in psychic disbelief. Orks explode in cheers. He's stopping it! Look, he's stopping a tyrant! Not even a deaf dread can do that! The tyrant roars in frustration, claws slashing. Hulk catches one with his left hand and the other with his right. He holds both at bay, snarling. The tyrant's claws dig into his palms, drawing greenish blood. Hulk's teeth grind. He looks the tyrant dead in the eyes and headbutts it. The sound is like a thunderclap. The tyrant reels, skull plates cracking. Hulk snarls. Hulk said stop! The tyrant screeches in outrage. Hundreds of gaunts surge in. Warriors fire bioplasma. Raveners coil to strike. Even the larger Carnifex in the rear begins lumbering forward. The entire swarm tries to bury Hulk under sheer numbers. Orks see it happening, and they scream as they charge, "Get to the big un! Don't let the bugs pile him, crump anything that touches him!" A tide of Orks slams into the Tyranid horde, weaponizing pure enthusiasm. Green bodies crash into chitinous walls. Ork axes chop. Tyranid claws slash. Teeth and bone fly everywhere. It's a meat grinder. It's chaos. It's perfect. And through it all, Hulk stands in the center, holding the hive tyrant by both arms, refusing to yield. Cracks spiderweb across the tyrant's bone plates. It grows desperate. Its tail snaps forward, trying to impale Hulk's side. Hulk twists. The tail misses. He grabs it mid-strike and rips the end clean off. The tyrant shrieks with pain and psychic horror. The Orks scream in triumph. He's tearing it apart, bit by bit. Da bugs I's losing it. More Orks arrive, dozens more, drawn by the noise, the smell of war, and the bright green glow in the distance. When they reach the crater rim and see Hulk wrestling the hive tyrant, they freeze, as if witnessing a miracle. Then they roar. The wog grows thicker, louder, denser. Their belief becomes tangible, an almost physical force that Hulk feels pushing behind his shoulders, lifting him, urging him. His skin glows, his muscles knot, his aura flares. Gamma green mixed with psychic green. The Orks begin chanting again. Big green, big green, big green. And something ancient inside Hulk answers. The tyrant pushes with all its might. Hulk pushes back harder. The tyrant unloads psychic blasts into Hulk's skull. Hulk roars in defiance. The hive mind tries to break into Hulk's mind again and hits a wall of rage and sheer stubborn will, reinforced by the collective belief of dozens of Orks. It rebounds. The psychic backlash stuns every Tyranid in a kilometer radius. And the hive tyrant realizes something horrifying. Its mind cannot contain Hulk. Its will cannot dominate Hulk. Its biology cannot assimilate Hulk. Its psychic power cannot overwhelm Hulk. Hulk is incompatible with Tyranid domination. His gamma warp wog hybrid energy is toxic to the hive mind. The tyrant hesitates, just for a heartbeat. Hulk feels its fear and smiles. Hulk tightens his grip on the Hive Tyrant's claws. Orcs scream, "Do it, Big Green! Break the big bug! Show us the smasher!" The tyrant screeches, Hulk roars, and the orcs chant louder than ever. Wag! The air vibrates, the world trembles, and Hulk prepares to do something no Tyranid in the galaxy has ever survived. The Hive Tyrant hesitates. The orcs scream, and Hulk prepares to unleash a blow the hive mind will never forget. Dust swirls around the locked titans, Hulk gripping the tyrant's claws, the tyrant straining with every muscle, its psychic aura flaring in rage and fear. The orcs have formed a massive semicircle behind Hulk, weapons raised, eyes wide, caught between awe and religious fervor. They chant louder, stronger, faster. Big Green, Big Green, Big Green. Wah energy thickens in the air, visible now, thin green arcs crackling like electricity. Hulk feels it surging through him. His veins light up, his skin glows, his pulse becomes thunder. The tyrant tries one last gambit. A psychic tsunami erupts from the tyrant's skull, a blast meant to liquefy Hulk's mind. Images slam into Hulk's brain, worlds consumed, minds devoured, biomass, stripped galaxies drowned in chitin, the vast, endless hunger of the Tyranid race. The hive mind shrieks inside him, "You are food." Hulk's teeth grind, his muscles tremble, the psychic claws try to dig deeper and hit something unyielding. It is not logic, it is not willpower, it is not training, it is raw emotion, unfiltered, infinite, growing. It is rage, rage that cannot be absorbed, rage that cannot be assimilated, rage that only strengthens when attacked. Gamma erupts through his neural pathways, a surge of power so violent it makes the psychic intrusion short-circuit. Then Wog energy slams into it. Belief fueling fury, fury fueling strength, strength fueling more belief. A psychic reactor ignites inside Hulk. The tyrant's psychic assault shatters. The hive mind recoils as if struck across the face. The tyrant stumbles. The orcs scream in triumphant disbelief. He fought off the bug mind again. The tyrant can't think in his head. He's a god. He's a propagado smashing. Hulk lifts the tyrant by its claws, huge bone-armored limbs taller than an orc. The tyrant hisses, thrashes, claws the air. Hulk's eyes blaze like radioactive suns. He growls. Hulk? Not food. He pulls. The tyrant shrieks, bone plates cracking muscles, tearing psychic static spilling everywhere. Orcs hold their breath. Hulk pulls harder. Crack. One of the tyrant's claws snaps at the joint. Orcs explode in cheers. He broke the tyrant's arm. He's stronger than a Carnifex, stronger than a Titan, stronger than anything. The tyrant stumbles back, clutching its ruined limb. Hulk steps forward. Each footfall shakes the earth. The tyrant tries a desperate tail swipe. Hulk ducks. Then he grabs the tail, wraps it around his forearm, and yanks. The entire monster crashes to the ground. The orcs can barely contain themselves. This is the moment you asked for, the moment when the orcs name Hulk naturally, organically, through pure emotion. The knob, bleeding from the nose and staring up at Hulk in awe, whispers, "Dat ain't no boss." He watches Hulk lift the screeching tyrant. "Ain't no war boss." Hulk slams the tyrant into the dirt again. "Ain't even a prophet of Gork." Hulk breaks the tyrant's remaining claw. "Dats! He falls to his knees. The orcs around him lean in, and the knob screams at the top of his lungs, "That's da Gork Mork Smasher!" The orcs freeze for one heartbeat, then a deafening roar, "Gork Mork Smasher! Gork Mork Smasher! Gork Mork Smasher!" The name hits Hulk like a physical force. It carries belief, it carries reverence, it carries Wog-infused psychic power. And it fuses with his gamma aura in a way even the warp cannot predict. Hulk grows, just a little, but the orcs see it, and the legend is made. The hive tyrant tries one last psychic shriek. Hulk lifts it overhead. The orcs chant. The ground trembles. The hive mind screams, "No, unassimilable, uncontrollable, Hulk brings the tyrant down and breaks it in half. The psychic shockwave explodes across the battlefield. Every Tyranid within sight collapses in spasms of psychic agony. And the orcs The Orks go absolutely feral. He did it. He broke the tyrant. Gork Mork Smasher wins again. Wah! Hulk stands over the broken monster, breathing heavily. His aura glows like molten emerald metal. A new force is awakening inside him. A fusion of rage gamma, wah, warp belief, violence. He stares at his hands. Hulk changing. And in the warp, something ancient listens. Something that has never feared anything. Until now. The hive tyrant has fallen. The hive mind recoils, and something ancient in the warp takes notice of the rising emerald. Wah! The battlefield is quiet for the span of a heartbeat. The broken remains of the hive tyrant twitch on the ground, ichor pooling beneath its bisected torso. Its psychic presence gutters like a dying flame. Across the plains, the entire Tyranid swarm spasms in disarray. Warriors stumble, zoanthropes convulse, raveners coil in psychic shock. Gaunts screech and scatter like panicked vermin. The hive mind itself feels the rupture. It was not prepared for this, not prepared for something it cannot dominate, read, assimilate, reproduce, or understand. Something that grows stronger through pain, something that rejects consumption, something empowered by the belief of a completely irrational species, a species that is horrifyingly making him stronger. The hive mind sends a psychic command: adapt, adjust, compensate. The swarm begins to reorganize, but the Orks beat them to it. The mob surges toward Hulk, screaming at the top of their lungs, "Gork Mork Smasher! Big Green Smasher! Boss of bosses! He's the god what walks!" Dozens of Orks crowd around him, pounding on his legs and arms like he's a holy statue. One of them, small and scrawny, pokes Hulk's ankle. "Ya think he'll let me ride on his shoulder?" The knob smacks him. "Shut it, runt. Nobody rides the Gork Mork Smasher. You'll walk beside him if he lets you." Hulk looks down. He doesn't fully understand the chants. But the energy behind them, the belief, the raw joy, hits him like a rising tide. His muscles swell again, just slightly. His skin brightens an even deeper emerald. The ground trembles from the aura he emits. The Orks gasp. He did it again. He got bigger. He got bigger. They chant louder. The wak grows thicker. The hive mind feels it like poison. 3 carnifexes stomp into view. Massive, armored, horned, drooling storms of muscle and chitin. Behind them, spores burst open, releasing new bioforms. Tyranid shrikes, enhanced warrior variants, accelerated, gaunt hatchlings, multiple zoanthropes linking into a psychic choir. The hive mind tries something new, a synchronized assault. Not random waves, not instinctive charges, a coordinated storm of psychic fire, chitin, and claws. For the first time, the Tyranids are treating Hulk like a true strategic threat. The Tyranid choir speaks with one mind. Break the alpha. Break the alpha. Break the... They freeze mid-sentence. Hulk is walking toward them. Slowly, purposefully. His footsteps echo. Each one feels heavier than the last. Orks follow behind him like disciples behind a prophet, their voices rising in a deep, warlike chant. "Gork Mork Smasher! Gork Mork Smasher!" The ground vibrates from their belief. The air hums. Even the warp flickers, watching with interest. The Tyranid choir strengthens their psychic net. The carnifexes stomp forward. The warriors level biocannons. Hulk cracks his knuckles. This is no longer confusion. No longer instinctual defense. No longer survival. This is purpose. He raises his head and growls, "Round 3. The Orks roar with him. Why? The carnifexes charge faster than tanks. Zoanthropes unleash psychic spears that shimmer with warp flame. Warriors fire corrosive bioplasma. Gaunts scramble over each other in a tide of talons. The synchronized assault is devastating. A psychic beam slams into Hulk's side, blasting a crater of burning pain into his ribs. A carnifex rams into him like a freight train, pushing him back dozens of feet. A shrike dives from above, talons sinking into his upper shoulder. Hulk's skin tears, blood spills. Pain explodes across his nerves. Orks scream in fury, "Die hurt him! Die hurt our smasher! Get in there, lads!" And the wak ignites again. Hulk roars, A roar so deep it vibrates the bones of every being present. His eyes burn, his muscles swell, his aura becomes a shimmering emerald haze. The shrike on his shoulder dissolves under the emission. The Carnifex pushing him back skids to a halt. Realizing it is losing ground, the zoanthropes tremble as their beam weakens, and Hulk straightens his posture. He wipes the blood from his mouth, looks at it, gets angrier, much angrier. He steps forward. The Carnifex strains harder, its clawed feet digging trenches into the dirt. Hulk pushes again. No, he walks forward against the Carnifex's full charge. The hive mind feels fear. The zoanthropes feel terror. The orcs feel ecstasy. Look, he's doing it. He's marching through a Carnifex. He's a god, a real one. Wah! Hulk grabs the Carnifex's horns. The monster screeches, spitting acid. Hulk snarls. The ground cracks beneath them. And with a roar, Hulk isn't done. He twists. The Carnifex's neck breaks. Its body slams to the ground in a heap. The Tyranid choir wavers in terror. The orcs scream in holy ecstasy, and Hulk looks at the remaining swarm with a smile that is not human. Not anymore. The Carnifex has fallen. The swarm recoils, and Hulk takes another step toward becoming a cosmic force shaped by rage and wok. Silence. For one impossible heartbeat, there is silence. The Carnifex corpse twitches on the ground, neck broken, ichor pumping in weak spurts. The massive creature's fall sends cracks spiderwebbing through the dirt. All across the battlefield, the Tyranids freeze. Even the hive mind hesitates. It feels something it has not felt in 1,000 worlds. It feels outmatched. Hulk stands alone in the center of the broken earth, bleeding, glowing, steam rising off his skin, eyes burning emerald like twin stars. The orcs stare at him with something new. Not just awe, not just excitement, but religious fervor. The knob falls to one knee. Gorkmork Smasher, you really are the one. Other orcs mimic him. Dozens, then hundreds. Weapons lowered, heads bowed, they kneel not in weakness, but in absolute belief. And their belief pours into Hulk like fuel. The chanting begins slowly, deep, rhythmic, resonant. Gorkmork Smasher, Gorkmork Smasher, Gorkmork Smasher. The energy in the air thickens. A green haze swirls over the crater. Crackling runes of wok coalesce in the dust. The warp trembles in resonance, and Hulk feels it. He feels everything. Orcish belief mixing with gamma. Gamma mixing with rage. Rage mixing with the warp. A pressure builds inside him, like a volcano trying desperately not to erupt. He grips his skull. His heartbeat deafens everything around him. Thoom! Thoom! He groans as new strength tries to burst out of him. Stop pushing, Hulk! But the belief only grows. The chanting grows louder. The orcs point and shout in ecstatic frenzy. He's changing! Look, he's getting bigger. Gorkmork Smasher is ascending. This is the start of a new wok. His muscles swell, bones thicken, veins light up like burning rivers. He inhales, the air around him being drawn inward. The warp ripples, and the orcs roar louder than ever. Whack! The hive mind feels the shift. It issues a desperate, unified psychic command. Flee. The Tyranid swarm breaks cohesion. Gaunts scatter, Ravener coils retreat, warriors backpedal in confusion. The hive mind never flees. But this is something new, something unassimilable, something uncontainable, something that only grows stronger when attacked. It tries another gambit. Redeploy, reinforce, adapt. But there is no time. Because Hulk finally stops resisting the surge building inside him and lets it out, Hulk throws his head back and roars. Not a roar of pain, not a roar of fear, not even a roar of anger. This is the roar of becoming. The Y and gamma energy inside him explode outward. A massive blinding emerald shockwave erupts from his body. Tyranids caught in the blast vaporize instantly. Warriors collapse into bone dust. Shrikes fall from the sky in flaming pieces. Zoanthropes rupture like overfilled bladders. Even distant spore chimneys crack and topple. The shockwave spreads for miles, carving a crater almost the size of a city, a perfect circle of devastation. The orcs cling to rocks, rubble, and each other as the emerald wind howls past them. Some are blown off their feet, but none are harmed. Not one. Hulk's destructive aura doesn't even scratch them. The orcs realize the truth. The Wok protects them. The Smasher protects them. He smashes only the enemy. When the light fades, nothing Tyranid remains near the crater. Only dust, only silence, only Hulk, standing in the center, glowing like a dying star. Hulk lowers his arms, his breath is slow, calm, but each exhale sends ripples across the ground. He has grown taller, broader, heavier. Not Worldbreaker yet, but that path has begun. The knob approaches nervously. Gorkmork Smasher, you still you? Hulk looks down at him and smiles, a slow, dangerous smile. Hulk, stronger. The orcs erupt again. He talked! He's fine! He's perfect! He's our Smasher God! Wah energy rises into the sky like a green pillar. And deep across the warp, a chaos god stirs. Not Korn, not Tzeentch, not Slanesh, not Nurgle. Something else. Something new. Something watching the rise of a power not born of the warp, but fueled by rage and belief and the fury of battle. A power that might threaten even them. The battlefield lies in ruins. The orcs chant their new god's name, and the hive mind prepares a retaliation the size of a continent. Smoke drifts lazily from the shattered crater. The air is warm with lingering gamma radiation, but it carries something else. A psychic tremor that ripples across the horizon like the breath of a distant titan. Hulk stands in the center of the devastation, glowing faintly, his massive frame casting a shadow long enough to touch the crater rim. Dozens of orcs gather around him. Hundreds more arrive from every direction, drawn by the noise, the light, the thunderous Wog energy still echoing in the sky. The knob points at Hulk and screams, "Behold, the Gorkmork Smasher!" The entire mob kneels. It sounds like rolling thunder. Gorkmork Smasher! Gorkmork Smasher! Whack! Energy rises again. Not violently this time, but like a steady, radiant pulse. It circulates around Hulk, sinking into the ground, into orc bodies, into the air itself. He is becoming the spiritual hearth of an entire species. But something interrupts the moment. A whisper, a psychic tremor, a cold wave entering the atmosphere. Hulk's eyes narrow. He feels it first. Not on his skin, not in his muscles, but in the deepest, most primal part of his being. Danger. He turns his head toward the eastern horizon. The orcs fall silent. They know that look. The knob follows Hulk's gaze, and his face goes pale green. Oh, Zog! High above the world, blotting out the sun, impossibly vast silhouettes drift through the atmosphere. Not stars, not clouds, hive ships, leviathans of chitin and bone, spore chimneys grown across their backs, massive feeder tendrils extending down toward the planet. Millions of spores fall like toxic snow. The orcs scream in awe and giddy anticipation. It's a whole bug fleet. Look at them. Look at all them snacks. We're going to be smashing for days. This is going to be the greatest whack ever. The knob's jaw hangs open. That's a whole hive fleet splinter. Whole? No, more like half. That's a lot of bugs. The sky becomes a patchwork of descending spores, biovessels, and chitinous tendrils. The air grows hot. The planet trembles beneath their weight. Even Hulk stares upward, eyes narrowing. This is bigger than anything he's faced so far. This is not a battle. This is an invasion. A psychic murmur crawls across the battlefield like frost. The orcs clutch their skulls. Some fall to their knees. Even the weird boys scream in psychic overload. But Hulk feels something different. A pressure, a presence, a colossal intellect focused entirely on him. The hive mind speaks through 1,000 synaptic nodes. You are not a god. You are not a threat. You are a sample to be digested. Hulk growls. His anger stirs. The orcs hear him and grow excited again. He's getting mad. Mad is good. Mad means smash. The psychic voice grows sharper, piercing. You cannot stop us. We will learn you. We will adapt you. We will feed on you. Hulk's fists clench until the ground cracks beneath them. He raises his head toward the sky and snarls, "Try." A single word, low, deep, full of promise, and that word echoes across the battlefield. The orcs erupt again. Try! He said try. Bugs is gonna regret that. Gorkmork smashes ready. Ag! Massive spore pods hit the earth like meteors, but these are different, bigger, heavier, designed for one purpose: suppress the Gorkmork smasher. The pods crack open, releasing monstrous creatures unlike any seen before. Towering exocrines fused with psychic conduits, monstrous synapse beasts with reinforced bone helms, hulking biotitans dripping acidic resin, and worst of all, a new hybrid strain. Gamma lictors, creatures grown from the hive mind's initial failed readings of Hulk's biology. They glow faintly green, their claws vibrate with strange energy, their eyes burn with synthetic fury. The hive mind whispers, "We have adapted." The orcs stare in shock. Bugs what glow? Dat ain't right. Why they look like lil Hulks? The knob snarls. Da bugs as copying the smasher! Hulk steps forward. The ground cracks. Steam rises from his skin. His aura burns bright. He reaches one massive hand out toward the oncoming bioforms, and he growls, "Hulk, not copy." He raises his other fist. "Hulk, original." The first of the hybrid Tyranids screeches and charges. The orcs roar behind him. The sky rains spores and fire. The world trembles beneath the feet of millions of approaching horrors, and Hulk smiles, a slow, savage smile. Round 4. The hive mind adapts. The orcs roar, and Hulk faces the first creatures ever designed specifically to kill him. The first Gamma Lictor lands in front of Hulk with a thud that cracks the dirt. Its body is sleek, covered in chitin plates that shimmer faintly green as if lit from within. Each breath it exhales sends up wisps of radioactive haze. Its claws vibrate with stolen gamma resonance. And its mind is sharp, focused, predatory. Not instinctual, not feral, engineered. A weapon crafted entirely to dissect Hulk on a molecular and psychic level. The orcs stare at it, horrified. Dat one's glowing just like him? They cloned a big green git? This is some Zagan sorcery. One bold orc throws a rock at the lictor. The rock melts in midair from the creature's radioactive aura. The orcs all shout in unison. Nope. Without warning, the Gamma Lictor blinks out of sight. Hulk's eyes widen. It moved faster than he expected. A green blur reappears above him, claws extended, dripping with toxic gamma resin. It aims for Hulk's skull. Instinct screams. Pain flares along Hulk's nerves. His muscles tense, and just in time, he catches the lictor by the wrists. But the impact, boom, drives him a meter into the cracked earth. The orcs gasp. It hit him. It actually hit the smasher. Dat ain't right. Hulk growls, teeth clenched. The creature's claws twitch, trying to push downward. The hive mind's voice echoes through the beast. Adaptation complete. Gamma resonance locked. Predation, initiate. The claws descend another inch. Hulk's jaw tightens. This hurts. He hasn't felt this kind of sharp, targeted pain in a long time. And that means only one thing. He's getting angrier. Hulk snarls and shoves upward. The Gamma Lictor skids back, flipping to land on its feet. It emits a shrill whistle that reverberates across the battlefield. And more Gamma Lictors answer. Dozens. All glowing. All vibrating with Hulk's stolen energy. All watching him with predatory hunger. The knob's eyes bulge. That's too many. Way too many. Big Green, you might want to smash real hard. Hulk wipes a smear of blood from his forehead. He looks at it. He gets angrier. His breathing deepens. His muscles pulse. The ground under his feet cracks wider. The orcs feel the shift. He's powering up. Look out, Bugs! Gorkmork Smasher ain't done yet. The Gamma Lictors leap as one. Hulk roars. A roar that shakes the air and rattles the chitin of every Tyranid present. The first Lictor reaches him. Hulk punches it out of the air. It explodes. The second slashes at his back. Hulk grabs it by the throat and swings it like a weapon, smashing 3 more. The third lands on his shoulder. Hulk twists, grabs its mandibles, and rips them off. Orcs cheer like madmen. That's the way. Smash 'em. Give 'em to old Gorkmork. But there are too many. Way too many. Lictors swarm him from every angle, slashing, stabbing, biting, clawing, their gamma-infused claws cutting deeper than normal Tyranids ever could. Hulk staggers as one slashes through his side. He grabs it by the spine and tears it in half. But another strikes behind his knee. Another digs into his back. Another clamps onto his arm. For the first time since arriving in this galaxy, Hulk feels overwhelmed. The Orks see it, and they scream. Get in, dear! Help him! Don't let the bugs take our god! They charge. Hundreds of Orks slam into the swarm, axes swinging, shooters blasting. Bodies pile up instantly, Green and Chitin alike. But for every lictor an Ork kills, two more leap into its place. A massive psychic pressure falls onto the battlefield. The hive mind speaks. The gamma sample will be taken. The alpha will fall. Pain is irrelevant. Adaptation begins now. Gamma lictors converge on Hulk, claws glowing brighter than ever. They all strike at once. And for the first time, Hulk drops to one knee. The ground trembles. The Orks freeze in horror. He's down? That ain't possible. Smasher, get up. The gamma lictors screech and lunge for his throat. The hive mind whispers, you belong to us. Hulk's fingers dig into the soil. Blood drips from his chin. His eyes flicker. Pain fogs his thoughts. He is seconds from being overwhelmed. Seconds from being carved open by claws designed for one purpose, to kill the Hulk. And then, a tiny voice cuts through the chaos. A grot, barely 2 feet tall, covered in dirt, shaking like a leaf, standing on a rock. He cups his hands around his mouth and screams, Get up, Smasher! We believe in ya! The battlefield goes silent. Hulk's eyes snap open. Emerald fire ignites behind them, and the Wah answers. One grot's belief becomes the spark. The Orks become the storm, and Hulk rises as something the hive mind could never predict. For a heartbeat, the battlefield is still. Gamma lictors cling to Hulk like parasites, claws embedded deep in his flesh. Green blood runs down his chest. His knuckles grind into the soil. His body trembles under the weight of the hive mind's unified assault. And then a squeaky, terrified voice rises above the carnage. Get up, Smasher! We believe in ya! Silence! Every Ork head turns. Even the lictors pause their stabbing frenzy. The Hulk's breath stops. Something impossible fills the air. Wog energy. Not chaotic. Not angry. Not wild. Pure faith. A grot's faith. A spark. A tiny trembling spark that ignites a Wa'ak, the likes of which has not been seen in the history of the green-skinned species. The Nob, eyes wide, suddenly pumps his fist into the air. That's right, we do believe. Another Ork screams, We believe in the Smasher. Another, he ain't done, not by a long shot. And then, like a detonation of pure psychic madness, every Ork on the battlefield roars at once. Gork Mork Smasher! Gork Mork Smasher! Gork Mork Smasher! The chant becomes a thunderstorm, a hurricane, a psychic quake. Wach energy erupts from the Orks in a tidal wave of shimmering green light. It crashes down onto Hulk like a meteor. His body jolts, his eyes snap open, and the gamma lictors clinging to him recoil in fear. Hulk pushes one hand into the dirt. The ground cracks. He pushes harder. The soil buckles and splits like rotten wood. The gamma lictors dig in deeper, panicking. The hive mind screams through them, Stop him! But it's too late. Hulk lifts his head. His eyes burn emerald. The Orks chant louder, rhythm building with his breathing. Gork Mork Smasher! Gork Mork Smasher! Gork Mork Smasher! Gamma light explodes from his muscles. His skin brightens to an incandescent green. His hair crackles with Wach energy. And then Hulk stands up, dragging dozens of gamma lictors into the air with him. The Orks fall silent in awe. Hulk looks at the swarm clinging to him, and he growls, Hulk believed in. His fists clench. Hulk strong. His voice deepens, rumbles, echoes like thunder wrapped in fury. Hulk smash! Hulk slams both fists into the ground. What follows is not a shockwave. It is not a tremor. It is not a burst of power. It is a cataclysm. The ground ripples outward like a stone dropped into a lake. But the waves are mountains in size. The shockwave vaporizes the gamma lictors instantly. Their chitin explodes into particles of irradiated dust. Synapse creatures rupture like overripe fruit. Spore pods detonate in midair. The ground tears open into fissures miles long. Orks are thrown skyward, laughing as they fly. Tyranid structures collapse like paper models, and the hive mind screams in psychic agony. This power is not gamma alone. This power is not anger alone. This power is whack-fueled gamma rage, something never before seen in any universe. The shockwave doesn't just destroy Tyranids. It annihilates anything genetically linked to their synaptic web. For a radius of dozens of miles, the Tyranids are gone, wiped clean, erased from existence. When the light fades, Hulk stands in the center of a massive crater, steam rising from his skin, breath heavy but victorious, a green aura shimmering around him like a divine halo. The Orks slowly pull themselves up from the rubble and stare at him with open worship. One Ork whispers, "Boss? Boss of bosses? He ain't Gork, he ain't Mork, he's both." And the Knob, voice trembling with reverence, screams, "All hail the Smasher God!" The Orks erupt into a wah so loud it shakes the clouds. The WH40K gamma storm has annihilated the swarm. But the hive mind is not done. It unleashes something ancient, something cunning, something designed to break a god. The crater still smokes. Orks run around gathering trophies, shouting, cheering, punching each other in celebration. Some argue over who saw the biggest explosion. One particularly enthusiastic Ork insists, "I flew at least 3 miles up. That makes me the closest to the Smasher God, right?" Another punches him. "No, it don't. You just got lucky and landed on your head." But amid the chaos, a silence creeps in, a cold wind, a psychic tension. Hulk narrows his eyes. He feels it before anyone else, a presence, not vast like the hive mind, not towering like a synapse titan, not overwhelming. No, something focused, something intelligent, something that knows how to hunt. The Knob notices Hulk staring into the shadows of a shattered canyon wall. Boss, watch you see?" Hulk lowers into a stance, muscles tightening, breath slowing, something bad. A whisper crawls across the ground. "Yes!" The Orks all jump 5 feet straight up. "What the zog was that? Who said that? I ain't hearing ghost bugs, right?" Out from the cracks emerges a shape, tall, lean, armored in obsidian chitin, eyes burning with cold purple synaptic flame. A silhouette of monstrous elegance, claws like razors, tail coiled like a serpent, fangs dripping with psychoactive venom. A creature older than most Tyranid strains. A creature reserved only for the most dangerous prey, the Broodlord. It steps onto the rubble with the calm poise of a surgical killer. Its voice is a layered psychic whisper that seeps directly into the brain. "You are strong, too strong for the mind to ignore, too strong to consume carelessly. So it sends me." Its gaze sweeps across the Orks, and they feel the temperature drop. The Broodlord continues, "Kill me, and the hive adapts. Fall to me, and you join the song." "There is no victory for you, Green One." Hulk steps forward. The ground cracks under his heel. He doesn't roar. He doesn't smash. Not yet. He speaks. "Try." The Broodlord's grin widens. "I intend to." The Broodlord moves, not fast, not explosive, but silent, like a shadow gliding across reality. Even Hulk's senses struggle to track it. In a blink, it is behind him, claw, a slash aimed for Hulk's spine. Hulk twists at the last second, claws scrape his skin, not slicing, not cutting, but drawing blood. The Orks scream, "It scratched him! Da bugs got nasty claws. Smasher, don't let it get ya!" Hulk snarls, grabbing for the creature, but the Broodlord melts into the shadows again. It appears high on a rock outcropping, eyes glowing, voice dripping with grin-like cadence. "Pain sharpens you. Bleed more. Grow more. Let us see what you become." The hive mind watches through its eyes, studying, learning. The Broodlord raises one clawed hand. A psychic blast erupts, focused, surgical, deadly. Hulk braces. The blast hits him like a thunderbolt. His vision shakes, his ears ring, his skull aches. He staggers backward, teeth clenched, veins bulging. Psychic attacks can hurt him until he reaches a certain threshold of rage, the threshold he has not yet reached. The Broodlord watches him struggle and whispers, "Yes, yes, break for us." Orks clutch their heads, screaming. A weird boy starts foaming green energy from his eyes. One runt yells, "Turn it off! Turn it off!" But the Broodlord pushes harder. The psychic spear sharpens. Hulk drops to one knee. A roar of pain rips from his throat. The Broodlord tilts its head. "You bleed. You kneel. You suffer. Good." Hulk's fingers dig into the shattered ground. Blood drips from his nose. His eyes flicker. His heartbeat pounds. And deep inside him, something cracks. Something ancient. Something limitless. Something angry. The walk around him begins to vibrate. The Orks feel it. "He's getting mad!" "Look out, Bug. He's gonna blow." The Broodlord senses it too and smiles. "Yes, become." The Broodlord presses its psychic assault. Hulk teeters at the edge of collapse, and the Wa prepares to unleash something galaxy-shaking. The psychic spear digs deeper. Hulk's vision fractures into blinding white shards. His muscles seize. His heartbeat thunders in his skull like war drums trapped inside bone. The Broodlord stalks forward, each claw-tipped step slow, deliberate, savoring the sight of a titan forced to kneel. The Orks can barely stand. Some bleed from their noses. Weird boys convulse, overloaded by psychic static. The Knob roars, "Get away from him! That's our smasher god!" He charges, and the Broodlord casually backhands him across the field, breaking several ribs. The beast never breaks eye contact with Hulk. You kneel. You bleed. The mind learns. It raises one claw and slowly angles it toward Hulk's skull. The tip glows with psychic venom. The sample begins now. Hulk shudders. Pain clouds his thoughts. Blood runs from one ear. His heart feels too slow. For a moment, for a sliver of a second, he feels the edge of something he hasn't felt in years, being overpowered. But then, something else rises beneath the agony, a memory. Not a clear one, not words, not faces, just raw emotion, a scream, a promise. A rage older than galaxies, a feeling that no one, nothing takes Hulk's mind, not Banner's mind, not the Hulk's mind, not ever again. A tremor runs through the air. The Broodlord pauses. What is this? Hulk's fingers curl. Earth cracks beneath them. A green light pulses under his skin, not flowing like blood, but beating like a heart. The Orks stagger back as the Wog reacts violently. A weird boy screams as emerald lightning shoots from his orifices into the sky. The Knob gasps, "He's tapping the real stuff. The old Wa, the legend Wa." The air thickens. The ground trembles. Even the Broodlord loses its composure for a moment. Psychic static explodes across the battlefield. And Hulk's whisper emerges through clenched teeth. "Not yours." The Broodlord snarls and drives the psychic spear deeper. But the moment it pierces deeper into Hulk's mind, it screams. A shriek of shock, of pain, of horror. Because what it touches is not a normal mind, not a mortal psyche. It touches the green infinity, a bottomless ocean of rage and raw primal force, a storm that grows stronger the more you try to contain it, a cosmic avalanche waiting to be unleashed. The psychic attack backfires, the Broodlord reels, the Orks stare, jaws slack, and Hulk rises, slowly, gradually, inevitably. The psychic spear breaks. Hulk's aura explodes outward in a blinding pillar of emerald Wog light. The Broodlord hisses in disbelief. "No, no, this is not possible." Hulk stands fully upright, towering above the battlefield, steam rising from every muscle. His voice becomes deeper than thunder. Hulk, his body expands, muscles thickening, bones stretching, skin glowing brighter. The ground sinks beneath his weight. Wog energy swirls around him like a cyclone. The Orks go mad. "Smasher God ascended. He's turning into a propa god. This is the best day ever." Hulk's eyes burn like two suns. He stares down at the Broodlord, who suddenly looks very, very small. Hulk breathes in, and the Wog trembles. Hulk is done. He slams his foot into the ground. The planet buckles. Mountains quake, the air detonates, the broodlord is hurled skyward like a rag doll, its limbs snapping under the sheer pressure of Hulk's presence. It tries to reach out psychically. It tries to call the hive mind. It tries to adapt. But adaptations mean nothing when faced with rage, whack, gamma, belief, Hulk. The broodlord slams back to the dirt, broken, whimpering. Hulk steps forward, each footfall a seismic event. The orcs chant softly now, reverently, "Smash a god! Smash a god! Smash a god!" The broodlord looks up, terrified. "Wait, we can learn. We can evolve. We can—" Hulk raises one glowing arm. "You can't learn, Hulk." He brings the fist down. A crater forms deeper than before. A shockwave radiates for miles. The broodlord's body disintegrates instantly, reduced to dust and shattered psychic echoes. Its death scream ripples through the hive mind, and for the first time in its existence, the hive mind knows fear. The broodlord lies dead. The hive mind screams across the warp, and Hulk's ascension forces the Tyranids into their most desperate evolution yet. The dust settles. The crater from Hulk's fist still glows faintly with emerald fire. The psychic echo of the broodlord's death spirals upward into the sky like a screaming flame. Orcs gather around the edge of the crater, staring down in awe. One whispers, "That was the biggest smash I ever saw." Another corrects him, "That was the biggest smash anyone's ever seen." A third pipes up, "I want to smash like that when I grow up." The knob smacks him, "No, you won't. Ain't nobody smashing like the Smasher God." They bow their heads in reverence. The Y energy in the air thickens, swirling lazily around Hulk like a cloak made of lightning and faith. He takes a deep breath. His aura dims slightly, not fading, but stabilizing. He is no longer out of control. He is something more dangerous, a god who is learning to center himself. The orcs instinctively take a step back. Even from behind, his presence is overwhelming. Standing near him is like standing at the edge of a nuclear detonation wearing a t-shirt. But Hulk's eyes narrow. He feels something else, something big, something wrong. A tremor ripples across the horizon. Not seismic, psychic. The air thickens, warping with tension. The sky darkens, not with clouds, but with synaptic interference. Every orc grabs their skulls and groans, "Ow, that hurts!" Weird boys drop to their knees, green lightning firing wildly from their mouths. Even the knob staggers, clutching his temples. But Hulk just tilts his head, brows furrowed. He hears a voice, not a whisper like the broodlord, not a taunt, not a threat. A scream. "You kill our mind. You kill our eye. You break our evolution. You force our shift." The hive mind is in agony. But agony for a Tyranid consciousness is not defeat, it is catalyst. The ground begins to swell. Not crack, swell as if something enormous is pushing upward. The orcs scatter. "What's that?" "The ground's got a tummy ache." Everybody run. Even the weird boys know this is bad. That's a synaptic surge. Dad bugs are doing something dangerous. Hulk's eyes darken. He grinds his knuckles together. He knows whatever's coming is meant for him. The earth erupts, not like a geyser or an explosion, more like a continuous tearing. A living mountain forces itself upward, chitin plates the size of buildings, tendrils thicker than trees, eyes like burning purple suns. A creature that dwarfs every Tyranid on the battlefield. Not a hierophant, not a dominatrix, something the hive mind produced in raw desperation, a last impossible evolution. The Hive Titan, a bioform so massive its shadow covers the plains, a psychic presence strong enough to choke the air, a monster built from the genetic memory of thousands of conquered worlds and rewritten entirely to counter one target. The orcs stare up at it. Then one says, "That's big." Another corrects, "No, that's real big." A third whispers, "That's bigger'n the Smasher God." The knob snaps, "Shut up! Nothing's bigger'n the Smasher God." But the truth is obvious. This thing makes the broodlord look like a snack. And then it speaks with the full weight of the hive mind behind it. "You are in error. You do not belong. You will be corrected." Its maw opens, rows of psychic mandibles shimmering with warp light. A beam of condensed synaptic annihilation charges in its throat. Orks scream and dive for cover. The weird boys panic. The knob points and shouts, "Smasher! You gotta hit it! Hit it real hard!" Hulk steps forward looking up at the mountain-sized monstrosity. He cracks his neck. His skin begins to glow. He rolls his shoulders. He growls, "Big." A beat. But Hulk bigger. The Hive Titan fires. The world turns purple-white. The Hive Titan unleashes a synaptic annihilation beam. The Orks scream. The world trembles. And Hulk meets the blast head-on. The world becomes light. A blinding pillar of purplish-white synaptic energy erupts from the Hive Titan's maw, vaporizing the air, cracking the bedrock, and turning everything in its path into gleaming glass. Orks dive behind boulders. Weird boys scream as their own psychic fields auto-trigger in panic. The knob shouts, "Smasher, look out!" But Hulk does not look out. He steps forward. The beam strikes him full force. The impact is apocalyptic. The ground beneath Hulk's feet collapses into a crater. Entire boulders disintegrate around him. His skin blisters. His muscles tear. For the first time since arriving on this world, Hulk is pushed back, just an inch. Then another inch. The Hive Titan roars, increasing its output. The synaptic beam brightens. The air turns to plasma. The shockwave throws Orks hundreds of meters back. The Hive mind speaks through the beam. You can be broken. You can be unmade. Your rage has limits. The beam intensifies again. Hulk's heels dig trenches into the ground. He snarls. Teeth grit. Veins bulge. But his body is burning. His skin begins to split from the force. He roars in agony as the psychic energy pierces deeper. For a moment, a terrible, impossible moment, Hulk drops to one knee. Orks cry out, "No! Smasher, get up! Don't let the bugs do it!" Weird boys try to channel Wog energy toward him. But the psychic storm is too strong. The Hive Titan bellows triumphant. The beam brightens. The Hive mind presses harder. You fall. Evolution claims you. You are food. Hulk roars again, but the beam pushes him down. A second pulse of energy slams into him. His body is beginning to disintegrate at the edges. His outline blurs. His skin glows white-hot. His muscles twist and tear faster than his healing can keep up. Hulk is drowning in psychic fire. He is seconds from collapse. Seconds from annihilation. And then something unexpected happens. He hears something. Faint, small, shaking, a voice, a familiar squeaky voice. The little grot, hiding behind a rock, stands up, trembling and screams, "We believe in you, Smasher God! Don't let the giant bug eat ya!" The voice pierces the psychic storm. It hits the Orks, and belief becomes ignition. One Ork stands up, then another, then dozens, then hundreds, until the entire mob, injured, bleeding, half-conscious, rises together. They raise their choppas, they raise their shooters, they raise their fists, and they scream with everything they have, "Gork Mork Smasher! Gork Mork Smasher! Gork Mork Smasher! Wah!" Energy ignites. The sky turns green, the air hums, reality cracks, and the energy flows not outward, but into Hulk. Hulk's head rises. His eyes open. They blaze with pure, radioactive emerald fire. The beam against him falters, just a fraction. His muscles swell. The ground beneath him becomes molten glass. His blood boils, then vaporizes, then becomes light. His voice emerges, deep and unstoppable. "Hulk!" He pushes 1 foot forward. The beam cracks. The Hive Titan's psychic output wavers. The Hive mind recoils. Impossible. Rage cannot. Hulk stands fully upright. Emerald lightning bursts from his skin. The Wat-Ag spirals around him like a cyclone. The Orks scream louder. The Hive beam breaks again. Hulk roars. Hulk doesn't fall. Then he steps through the beam. He walks, slowly, deliberately. The beam melts the earth behind him. But it cannot stop him. Each step sends shockwaves. Each breath cracks the air. Each roar pushes the beam back toward the Titan. The Hive Titan bellows in panic. The beam sputters, fails, and Hulk charges. The battlefield holds its breath. The Orks scream, "Wah!" The Hive Titan roars, "Stop!" Hulk leaps. Emerald light surrounds him. He becomes a meteor of gamma and whack! And he slams into the Hive Titan's skull with the force of a falling star. Hulk's wah-fueled leap becomes a meteor strike. The Hive Titan reels. The battlefield changes forever. Hulk hits the Hive Titan's skull with a force that would have cracked tenants. The shockwave is indescribable. A green-white explosion erupts outward, flattening spore chimneys, uprooting forests of chitin, and vaporizing lesser Tyranid organisms in an instant. The Hive Titan staggers backward, its massive legs digging trenches miles long. The ground quakes. Mountains tremble. Orks cling to the earth as the world beneath them buckles. The Knob screams through the chaos, "He's doing it! The Smasher God's killing the big bug!" The Titan bellows in pain, a psychic scream that makes the sky ripple. Its skull cracks under Hulk's blow, chitin plates splitting like ceramic under a hammer. Liquid synaptic fluid spills out, a glowing purple flood that sizzles against the molten ground. Hulk lands atop the Titan's head, knees bending slightly, steam rising from his skin. He stands up slowly. He looks down at the gargantuan monster. The Titan speaks, staggering. "You cannot exist. You break natural order. You break evolution." Hulk's chest rises and falls with fury. His aura flares brighter. "Hulk, break everything!" With that, Hulk punches the Titan in the face. The Hive Titan reels backward, its massive body losing balance. It slams into the earth with a ground-shattering crash, flattening a square mile of terrain beneath its weight. Orks bounce into the air from the shockwave. One orc yells mid-flight, "This is the best day of my life." Another spinning, "I can see my house from air." The Titan claws desperately at the ground, trying to rise. Hulk leaps high into the air, higher than any orc can comprehend, higher than logic itself should allow. His body is a green comet, his fists clenched. The orcs scream upward, "Smasher! Finish him!" The Hive Titan roars one final time. "No, stop!" Hulk descends. Hulk slams into the Titan's chest with an impact so catastrophic it cracks the bedrock in a circle nearly 20 kilometers wide. The Hive Titan's entire torso caves inward. Its synaptic core ruptures. Its tendrils seize. Its mandibles snap. And its psychic presence, that crushing, suffocating storm, snuffs out instantly. The explosion sends a pillar of green-white light into the heavens. The orcs shield their eyes as the world turns emerald. When the light fades, all that remains of the Titan is a crater of smoldering chitin fragments and a glowing green silhouette standing atop them. The Knob drops to his knees. So, that's it then. Weird Boys collapse in awe. The Grot who believed first stares, trembling, and softly whispers, "He did it." Hulk breathes. Long, slow, deliberate. With every inhale, the green winds swirl tighter. With every exhale, the air trembles. The orcs feel it in their bones. They feel something monumental happening, something that doesn't happen often. In fact, it has never happened before. The wag is not just feeding Hulk. Hulk is feeding the wag. The connection becomes a loop, a feedback of violence, belief, rage, and power. The sky turns emerald. Storms crackle with green lightning. The ground hums with raw psychic energy, and the orcs begin chanting without even knowing why. "Gork, mork, gork, mork." Then, as one, they point at Hulk and scream, "Both!" Something breaks open inside Hulk. A dam, a limit, a boundary. His muscles swell, not grotesquely, but cosmically. His skin glows like molten emerald. His eyes burn like two gas suns. And a voice rumbles from deep within him, "Hulk, smash a god!" The wag erupts. Orcs scream in holy ecstasy. Weird Boys ascend into green lightning. The entire region becomes a storm of psychic power. And far across the galaxy, chaos gods turn to look. Eldar Farseers tremble. Imperial astropaths burst into flames. Because something new has just been born. A deity. A god of rage and smashing. But not born from the warp. Born from belief plus gamma waft anger. A god the orcs will worship. A god the Tyranids will fear. A god the galaxy will not know how to contain. A god named Hulk has ascended. The wasp swells into a planetary storm, and the hive mind faces something it has never, ever known: fear. The world shakes beneath Hulk's feet as emerald lightning cracks open the sky. The orcs chant in wild harmony, their voices merging with the storm, feeding it, amplifying it. Smash a god! Smash a god! Smash a god! The hive titan lies in shattered ruins, its synaptic core flickering like a dying sun. Tendrils curl and collapse. Chitin plates dissolve into dust. The psychic shockwave of its death ripples upward through the atmosphere, a jagged pulse that travels faster than sound, faster than light, faster than thought. The hive mind receives the signal. It recoils, not in anger, not in rage, but in something it has no concept for: terror. Above the battlefield, the living sky, the bioships, spore vessels, feeder tendrils, synaptic floaters, all begin to writhe. Not in hunger, not in attack formation, but in panic. Whole ships change direction. Feeder tentacles retract violently. Massive biopods begin to detach. The orcs stare up confused. Boss, why do bugs look like they want to run? The knob narrows his eyes. 'Cause they do. They want to leg it. A weird boy shrieks as visions assault him. Images of countless past battles, Tyranids consuming worlds, devouring gods, overrunning civilizations, all overshadowed by a new image. A green glowing titan, a god of smashing, a being they cannot consume, cannot understand, cannot adapt to. A being that is wrong for their evolutionary matrix. A being that is a threat not to a swarm, not to a fleet, but to the concept of the hive mind. A psychic cry echoes across the plains. Every orc pauses. Even Hulk tilts his head. The hive mind's voice trembles. Withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. This has never happened. Not once. Not in millions of years. Not in any corner of the galaxy. Tyranids do not retreat. They do not surrender. They either consume a world or die trying. Yet now, hive ships peel away. Spore pods detonate prematurely. Synapse chains collapse as flotillas break formation. The hive mind tries to sever its connection to prevent feedback contamination. But it is too late. The wog is in the psychic field. The Hulk's rage is in the synaptic web. The orc's belief is in the evolutionary substrate. The hive mind is choking on a kind of psychic energy that defies all Tyranid logic. Chaos? No. Even that fits a pattern. This is something else, something primal. Something orky. The hive mind screams, the alpha must be isolated. The world must be abandoned. The contagion must be contained. The orcs roar with laughter. Her, her, her. Da bugs is running. Smash a god made the biggest bug scared. This is a pro-power walk. And Hulk just stands there, breathing. Calm, radiating power like a star. Then he looks up at the retreating bioships. His emerald eyes narrow. A low growl rises in his chest. Leaving? The orcs freeze. The storm freezes. Even the hive mind pauses its retreat. Hulk cracks his knuckles. Hulk not finished. His foot sinks deeper into the earth. His muscles coil like loaded springs. The air vibrates. Orcs scream in delight. He's gonna jump! He's gonna catch the bugs in space! Wah! The clouds part. The wok winds spiral around him. His entire body glows brighter than ever. And Hulk bends his knees. In a blinding explosion of green light, Hulk leaps. He rockets upward with a sonic boom that pulverizes the ground for kilometers. The air ignites behind him. A green shockwave expands outward, blowing orcs off their feet and rattling mountains. Hulk pierces the clouds, then the sky, then the upper atmosphere. The orcs watch him vanish into the heavens, screaming their throats raw. Go smash a god! Get them bugs! Show 'em what a proper god looks like! Wah! The hive fleet tries to accelerate away, but Hulk is already upon them. Hulk rockets into orbit. The hive fleet scatters in panic, and space itself becomes the arena for a god born of rage, and whack! The void of space rips open around Hulk as he bursts through the exosphere. The shock wave from his ascent creates a green vapor cone trailing behind him like the tail of an angry comet. Above him, an entire splinter of a hive fleet, bioships the size of cities, tendril cruisers, spore barges, synapse conduits, all of them running. Hulk inhales the cold vacuum of space. He does not suffocate. He does not freeze. His skin glows brighter. His muscles thrum with cosmic violence. He whispers, "Hulk, smash stars." Then he launches himself at the nearest bioship. The fleeing hive cruiser twists in fear, its bioplasma engines firing wildly to escape. Hulk closes the distance in seconds. He grabs the ship's armored flank and digs his fingers in. Chitin, the thickness of battleship armor, shreds like wet paper. The bioship screeches. Hulk snarls, "Stop running." He rips the cruiser in half. Not with a punch, not with a smash, with a pull. Two halves of the ship drift apart, spilling atmospheric gases, ichor, spores, and melting flesh into the void. Tyranid organisms inside are torn out into space, where Hulk punches them too, just to be thorough. The Orks watching from the planet see the explosion as a green spark in the sky. "Look, look! The smasher got us doing space smashing. I wish I was up there. I wish I weren't here." Whack! The hive mind roars in psychic panic. Ships screech commands at one another. Evasive action. Initiate bioplasma volley. Deploy macro swarms. He must not reach the core. Spore clouds launch from dozens of vessels, a swirling nebula of living shrapnel, acidic spores, mind shredders, and bioplasma pods. They rush toward Hulk like a wave of locusts. Hulk braces, the swarm hits him, and disintegrates. His aura is too powerful. His WH-enhanced gamma field liquefies anything that touches him. Thousands of Tyranid organisms turn to green vapor on impact. The hive mind shrieks, "This is not possible." He defies adaptation. He defies naturalization. He defies us. Hulk launches forward again. At the Splinter Fleet looms a monstrous biovessel, the Synaptic Nexus, the Mind Core, a living cathedral of Tyranid thought. Every lesser ship bends its motion around it. Every synapse links back to it. If Hulk destroys this ship, the Splinter Fleet dies instantly. The hive mind knows that, and it is terrified. So it speaks directly into the wag storm surrounding him. "Green one, we will bargain." Hulk slows, barely. Bargain? A shimmer of psychic projection forms before him, taking shape. A colossal insectoid face, noble and regal, like a queen forged from bone and hunger. The hive mind offers, "Leave us. We will not return to this world. We will never return." Hulk floats in silence. Below, the Orks chant, "Don't listen to bugs. Smash a god, smash it good." Wag! The hive mind continues, "We fear you. We acknowledge you. We will go." For a brief moment, it feels like the galaxy holds its breath. And then Hulk growls, "Hulk not want go." His fists glow brighter. "Hulk want smash." The hive mind screams. Hulk rockets toward the core ship at unimaginable speed. The entire fleet fires. Bioplasma lances, living torpedoes, psychic cannons, macroorganism swarms, corrosive spore storms. All of it strikes Hulk. All of it fails. The core ship trembles. The hive mind screams, "No, no, no." Hulk draws back both fists. The universe seems to darken around him, and he roars, "Hulk, smash!" He slams into the core ship with a cataclysmic impact. The biovessel implodes from the inside out. A shockwave tears through the fleet, ripping apart synapse pillars, splitting cruisers, exploding barges, and severing the hive mind's link in an instant. The entire Splinter Fleet dies, silently, in an emerald supernova. Below on the planet, the Orks stare up at the green flash lighting the heavens. One says, "Did he just smash space?" Another replies, "He smashed space." And the knob screams, "That's our smasher god!" The wag roars across the entire continent. The hive fleet is dead. The void burns green, and the Orks await the return of the god they accidentally created. The emerald supernova fades. Fragments of Tyranid bioships drift through orbit, glowing like burning leaves in a cosmic wind. Shattered tendrils curl and dissolve. Synapse cores flicker and die. The entire Splinter Fleet collapses into drifting debris. Far below, on the cracked surface of the Ork world, millions of green faces stare up at the sky. Silence. A reverent, trembling silence. The Knob removes his battered helmet. That, he murmurs, was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. A runt sniffles. I think the Smasher God loves us. The weird boys sway, eyes blazing with green lightning as the psychic aftermath washes over them. One proclaims, "The Big Green is now a proper god, a god o' smashing, a god o' whack, and a god o' the Orks." The Orks erupt in celebration. They punch each other, tackle each other, dance, fire guns at the sky, jump on squigs, headbutt rocks, and start 17 unrelated fistfights. But then, a shadow falls across them. One by one, they look up. The sky glows emerald. A burning streak descends from orbit, not like a meteor, not like debris, but like a living comet. Orks begin cheering. He's coming back. Get ready, lads. Smasher God is returning. Wah! The green comet hits the atmosphere. Shock waves ripple outward. Gamma winds shriek across the plains. The clouds part, and a glowing silhouette plummets toward the planet, fists forward, aura blazing. He hits the ground with a thunderous impact that shakes mountains. A crater forms. Dust clouds rise. Orks shield their eyes. And when the smoke clears, Hulk stands in the center of the crater. A titan of emerald fury. A god wearing the shape of a man, glowing with the energy of a newborn star. He breathes slowly, calmly, as though he has just walked back from a simple errand. The Orks collapse to their knees. The Knob stumbles forward, eyes wet with awe. "Boss, you did it." Hulk looks at him, then at the crowd, then at the sky. His voice rolls across the battlefield like distant thunder. "Hulk, back!" The Orks explode into celebration. Some faint from excitement. Others punch each other unconscious. One runs in circles screaming, "We got our own god! We got our own god!" But as the wah crescendos, Hulk raises a hand. The Orks freeze instantly. Silence falls. Every Ork watches, waiting, breathing in unison. Hulk lowers his head, eyes closed. Then he opens them, and they blaze brighter than ever. He speaks. "Hulk, not done." The Orks gasp. The Knob steps forward. "Not done, boss?" Hulk turns toward the horizon. A low rumble begins beneath the earth. The winds shift. The very air feels tense. And Hulk's voice deepens. "More bugs coming." The Orks erupt in joy. "More bugs? More fighting? More smashing? Wah!" Hulk cracks his knuckles. Green lightning dances across his arms, and for the first time, his smile is not human, not even close. Hulk ready. Hulk returns to the planet as a newborn god. The Orks celebrate, but the hive mind reorganizes. The ground still smolders from Hulk's landing. The crater glows faintly emerald, cracks radiating outward like the veins of a burning star. Orks gather around the rim, eyes wide, jaws slack. Some whisper reverently, "Da Smasher God." He came back. He smashed space. The Knob clears his throat, stands tall and bellows, "All right, lads, get your gear. Big Green ain't done, so we ain't done." The Orks roar in unanimous, joyful fury, but Hulk lifts a hand, instant stillness. He stares at the horizon, eyes burning brighter than the fractured sky. Far off, a low, haunting rumble shakes the ground. A sound that feels deep, not seismic, not physical, but psychic. A cold wind sweeps the plains. The weird boys convulse. Visions crash into their minds. Planets stripped to bone. Star systems devoured. Tendrils of the great devourer stretching out like titanic claws. A hunger that never ends. A consciousness boiling with fear and fury. The hive mind speaks, not in whispers, not in taunts, but in wrath. "You have broken a splinter. You have wounded us. You have shamed us. We come now as whole." The Knob flinches. "Whole? What's that mean?" A weird boy shaking violently croaks, It means that weren't the whole fleet." The ground trembles harder. Hulk's eyes narrow. He growls, "Hulk knows." Clouds twist into unnatural spirals. The light dims. The wind shifts direction, then stops entirely. Even the Orks feel it, the weight of something massive approaching. A cold psychic pulse slams outward from the void. Every Ork drops to a knee. Even the Knob grunts, holding his skull. Weird boys scream as green lightning cascades from their mouths and eyes. The grot who once shouted belief steps behind Hulk's leg, trembling. And then, the sky tears open. Reality itself splits like brittle bone under pressure. From the widening rift, a shadow emerges. Something colossal, something ancient, something infinitely worse than a splinter fleet. Hundreds of bioships? No, thousands. Their silhouette fills the heavens like a cancer. The hive mind has arrived in force. Not a fragment, not a splinter, not a scouting tendril, a full hive fleet, a planetary doom, a continent-sized organism whose hunger spans star systems. Tyranid war tendrils reach into the atmosphere like claws. Bioships, the size of mountain ranges, pour through the void. Synaptic storms churn across the sky like hurricanes made of nightmares. The planet's crust buckles. Mountains tilt. The orcs tremble. But Hulk stands still, silent, watching, measuring. The hive mind's true voice rolls across the landscape like a cosmic commandment. Smasher God, you have been noticed. You will be unmade. We will feast on your endless rage. We will become more than perfect. The orcs take a collective step back. The knob whispers, voice cracking, That's a whole hive fleet. No orcs ever fought Dat. No orcs ever even seen Dat. The weird boys look up with fevered awe. This is the final fight. This is the biggest whack. This is the moment. All eyes turn to Hulk. He cracks his neck. His body glows brighter. Gamma heat ripples across his skin. Emerald lighting dances between his fingers. He takes one step forward. The ground sinks 2 feet beneath his weight. He looks at the sky, at the oncoming doom, and snarls, Hulk, smash whole fleet. The orcs erupt. That's right, smash a god. Give him the business. We with ya. Whack! But Hulk isn't done. He looks back at his followers and says something that makes even the weird boys gasp. Hulk not fight alone. The knob blinks. What? Hulk points upward. Green lightning spirals around him, and he roars. Hulk, wah! The ground cracks open with emerald power. Every orc on the continent screams in wild, perfect, unstoppable madness. Wah! And the psychic shockwave that erupts is visible from orbit. The hive fleet descends. The orcs roar, and Hulk calls upon a power the galaxy has never witnessed. The world shakes. The entire planet seems to groan under the pressure of what is happening above. The sky is a churning mass of living flesh, bioships, tendrils, spore storms, and psychic lightning. The hive fleet stretches from horizon to horizon, a cosmic wall of teeth, claws, and hunger. Orcs across the continent stare upward in awe and terror and joy. The knob tries to say something heroic. Lads, dis is duh, but his voice cracks. Dis is the biggest fight ever. The weird boys tremble, green fire dripping from their eyes. One whispers, if we don't walk together, all of us, we's gonna die. But Hulk raises a hand. Instant silence. The sky rumbles. The hive mind presses in with crushing psychic force. And Hulk doesn't even flinch. His eyes burn brighter. No longer just gamma lamps, but beacons of Wog-born divinity. The orcs stare. The grot peeks from behind Hulk's leg, whispering, Smasher God? Hulk's voice rolls across the world. Orcs believe in Hulk. A wave of green energy pulses outward. Now Hulk. He clenches his fists. The ground shakes. The sky cracks. The hive mind recoils. Believe in orcs. The orcs gasp. Even the knob looks like he's about to faint. Then Hulk spreads his arms wide as if embracing the entire species. And he roars, Hulk, wah! The response is instantaneous. Every orc on the planet screams, wah! And the world changes. Green lightning erupts from the crust. Warp sparks burst into the air. Mountains split open, vomiting green fire. Storm clouds swirl into emerald cyclones. The atmosphere itself becomes a psychic battlefield. The Wog grows and merges with Hulk. Space-time bends around his form. Gamma energy spirals into a vortex. His muscles glow until his veins look like molten emerald rivers. The weird boys cry out in devotion. He's doing it. He's begomming both. He's the fusion of Gork and Mork. But the truth is more terrifying. Hulk is not becoming Gork. He is not becoming Mork. He is becoming the Orcs' god on his own terms. Not a reflection, not a counterpart, not a myth reinforced, a new god. One born of infinite rage, unstoppable strength, and a species' collective madness. The Wag becomes a tangible storm. The hive mind feels it and panics. This is not possible. This is not evolution. This is aberration. This is wrong. Hulk steps forward. Each footstep creates a shockwave. Each breath bends the light around him. He speaks again. Hive fleet, afraid. The sky cracks with green fire. Good. As Hulk gathers power, something else awakens inside the billions of Orcs across the world. Belief without restraint. The Wag mutates their weapons. Guns grow teeth. Choppers crackle with green lightning. Armor plates forge themselves onto bodies with the sound of metal screaming into shape. The Knob looks at his newly glowing power claw. I didn't even touch anything. A mech boy giggles hysterically. This is the greatest day ever! Squigs swell in size, turning into battle monsters. Death dreads glitch and overload with psychic feedback. Warbikes grow spikes bigger than their frames. And all the Orcs, to a boy, a Knob, a mech, a weird boy, a grot, align behind Hulk. A single species, a single will, a single god. The Hulk walk! The hive fleet reacts desperately. Clouds of spore beasts charge downward. Macroorganisms descend like falling stars. Millions of gaunts drop from orbit like rain. Tyranid cruisers fire simultaneous bioplasma lances. Their psychic choir screams, "Consume the Orcs! Consume the god!" Crush the belief. But belief is now a weapon. One of the weird boys bursts with green light, not dying but ascending. His voice booms. "Da bugs think they can fight a god? Lads, show 'em how wrong they are!" The whole planet roars, "Wah!" And the Wak storm erupts upward, meeting the swarm head-on. The Hive Fleet's initial wave collides with the psychic hurricane. The result is catastrophic. Bioships rupture. Gaunts detonate midair. Tyranid spores are shredded like confetti. Massive macro beasts dissolve in the green gale. Even synapse creatures erupt into green flame as the Wog overwhelms their psychic pathways. Yet, the Hive Fleet continues descending. It cannot flee now. Not from a belief this strong. Not from a god this angry. Not from Hulk. He clenches his fists. His eyes burn with cosmic hatred. And he whispers to himself, "Round 5. The Orcs roar, "Round 5! Round 5! Smash a God's gonna crump the whole fleet! Whack!" Hulk steps forward, and the world trembles. The Wag storm rises, the Hive Fleet descends, and Hulk steps into his true myth. The planet shakes, not from bombardment, not from Tyranid claws scraping the crust, but from the weight of a god, walking. Every step Hulk takes leaves a crater. Green lightning dances around his feet, crawling through the dirt like living serpents. The Orcs follow, tens of thousands, their bodies glowing faintly with Wag fire, their weapons mutating in real time. Above them, the Hive Fleet's next wave breaches the clouds. A shadow falls across the plains, a living eclipse. Spine towers bristle, biocannons glow. Millions of organisms pulse in unholy unity. The hive mind's true voice rumbles through the atmosphere. You cannot defeat the infinite. You cannot destroy what knows no fear. We are evolution. Hulk stops walking. He rolls his shoulders, cracks his neck, and glares up at the cosmic monstrosity blotting out the sky. He spits into the dirt. Then Hulk smash evolution. The Orcs cheer like maniacs. "That's right, smash a god! Break them bugs! Wah!" The first vanguard crashes downward. Mycetic spores the size of tanks, Carnifex drop capsules, winged biotitans, Tyranid artillery beasts, a living rain of chitin and teeth. They fall like an extinction-level meteor shower. The Orcs roar and charge forward, but Hulk raises one hand. They stop instantly. He whispers, "Mine." The Orcs step back, nodding with religious awe. "Let our god do his thing." "Smash a god's turn." "Step aside, lads. We bout to see a miracle." The first wave hits. A mycetic spore crashes toward Hulk, big as a cathedral. Hulk jumps straight up and punches it. The spore ruptures like a balloon. A storm of biotoxins sprays out and evaporates instantly upon touching Hulk's aura. Carnifex capsules slam down in a circle around him. The pods crack open. Carnifex's massive armored monsters charge in from all sides. 8 of them, each one a living siege engine. Hulk breathes in and screams, "Smash!" The shockwave alone kills 3. He grabs one Carnifex by the throat and pile drives it into another, shattering both. Another lunges. Hulk catches its horn, twists, and rips its head clean off. An orc faints from excitement. Another orc drags him to his feet. "No fainting during a wah, you'll miss the good parts." The psychic scream resonates across the swarm. What is he? Why does he grow stronger? Why does every strike increase his power? Why does the belief feed him? The orcs shout back, though they can't hear it psychically. "'Cause he's our god, ya gits! Belief makes him bigger. Whack!" Hulk slams his fists together. Carnifexes explode. The shockwave shears wings off flying bio-beasts. The walk field expands outward, warping the air into an emerald hurricane. And the hive mind whispers, "This cannot be. This cannot be. This cannot be." At last, Hulk lowers a hand. His voice carries through the storm. "Orcs, smash too." The war cry that erupts is apocalyptic. "Kill the bugs! Smash a god said we can join! Whack! Follow the big green!" Thousands of orcs surge forward in a tidal wave of madness. Their weapons glow with green flame. Their bodies pulse with Hulk-fed wah power. The field becomes a slaughterhouse of epic proportions. Orcs and Hulk smash Tyranids side by side, a divine partnership of violence. Hulk grabs a Tyranid artillery beast and swings it like a club. Orcs cling to its limbs, cheering, riding it like a carnival ride. A weird boy detonates into green fire, ascending into a psychic lightning storm that obliterates a brood of warriors. A knob leaps onto Hulk's shoulder, swinging his chopper wildly. Hulk glances at him. The knob freezes. "Sorry, boss." Hulk shrugs him off gently. "Fight, not ride." As the carnage rages, something changes. The sky darkens further. The bioships rearrange themselves into a ritual pattern. The psychic pressure deepens. The Hive Fleet roars with unified fury. "If you seek a god, we shall give you one." Every Tyranid on the battlefield freezes. Every synapse creature screams. A massive beam of psychic energy shoots down from orbit, striking a single towering Tyranid form emerging from a spore structure. Chitin cracks, flesh mutates, bone reshapes. The creature grows and grows and grows. Taller than a warlord titan, heavily armored with synapse crystal plating, eyes glowing with the combined consciousness of billions. The hive mind forges its ultimate avatar, its final weapon. It's God. The orcs stare in awe. One whispers, "That's a big bug." Another corrects him, "Nah, that's a proper big bug." The weird boy screams, "Smash a god! The bug's got thy own god now." Hulk rolls his shoulders, cracks his knuckles. His aura intensifies to blinding emerald. He smiles, a slow, terrifying smile. "Good." He lifts his head, stares directly at the new Tyranid god beast, and growls, "Hulk smash gods too." The Hive Fleet's avatar rises. The Wog storm intensifies, and Hulk faces a foe forged from the minds of billions. The battlefield falls silent. Even the orcs stop mid-charge. The ground vibrates with the arrival of something impossibly vast. So tall its head scrapes cloud layers, so wide its shadow swallows entire warbands. The Tyranid god beast completes its metamorphosis. Chitin plates the size of fortress gates lock into place. Skull-like facial ridges form from bone and synapse crystal. Its claws drip psychic ichor that melts stone. Every movement echoes with the collective consciousness of a hive fleet. Billions of minds speak through one mouth. We are the perfected form. We are the end of all life. We will devour you. Hulk steps forward. The wind stops. His body glows so bright it leaves after images in the air. Gamma energy coils around him, wreathed in green fire fueled by the belief of millions of orcs. He cracks his knuckles once. Crack! The orcs roar. "Smash a god! Smash that big bug! Crumpet good! We believe in ye, boss. Whack! The Tyranid god tilts its head, analyzing. You are not a god. You are a mistake. We will reforge you in perfection. Hulk lowers his center of gravity. Veins glow like molten emerald rivers beneath his skin, and he answers with a voice that shakes the planet. You want to perfect, Hulk? He bares his teeth. Come try. The Tyranid god beast swings a claw the size of a titan. It moves so fast the air combusts. The blow hits Hulk, and the world explodes. A shockwave pulses outward, flattening forests of fungus, turning mountains to rubble, launching orcs tumbling across the plains like toys. A crater swallows half the battlefield. Dust blots out the sun. Silence. Orcs cough, blink, look around. One whispers, "Boss?" The dust settles. And Hulk stands in the center of the crater, untouched, not a scratch. His aura pulses brighter, his muscles swell, his breathing deepens. He looks up. That all? The Tyranid god roars, a psychic blast that shatters orc helmets and cracks open the skulls of lesser gaunts. But Hulk marches forward. Each step cracks the crust beneath him. Now Hulk turns. He leaps, not high, unimaginably high. He rockets upward like an emerald meteor, fist pulled back, aura screaming. He hits the Tyranid god's chin with enough force to break a battleship in half. The impact creates a sonic boom that sends green shockwaves across the sky. The Tyranid god beast reels, stumbling, forced backward. A whole hive fleet stumbles with it. The psychic shriek echoes through the minds of billions of Tyranids. What is he? The orcs explode. Eat it! He knocked the big bug back. The Smasher God is winning. Whack! But the Tyranid God isn't done. It stabilizes. It opens its colossal maw and fires a beam of concentrated synaptic annihilation, a psychic cannon capable of melting titans. The beam hits Hulk, and for the first time, he slides backward half a meter. Orcs gasp. Weird boys scream. But then Hulk digs his feet into the earth and pushes back against the beam. The Tyranid god roars. Hulk roars louder. His anger rises. His power rises. His strength rises. Gamma flares ignite the atmosphere, and he shoves the beam upward, sending the attack spiraling into space where it cuts a smaller Tyranid ship in half. Orcs swarm forward in a unified frenzy, not chaotic, not scattered, directed, focused. Their Wog field streams directly into Hulk, feeding him belief, strength, madness, and purpose. Weird boys channel green lightning straight into Hulk's back. Mech boys fire custom weapons upward, screaming, "Take the juice! Smash a god! Go big, go angrier! Go smasher!" The Tyranid god tries to adapt, forming new armor, new psychic barriers, new limbs, but every adaptation makes Hulk angrier. And every moment he grows angrier, he grows stronger. The hive mind understands the horrifying truth. He is evolving faster than we can. His rage is limitless. The belief field interferes with our collective memory. We cannot predict him. One word echoes across the entire swarm: unadaptable. The hive mind has never faced such a thing, not in a billion years of evolution. The Tyranid god beast rears back. It channels the combined synaptic energy of millions of psychic organisms. The sky dims. Lightning arcs across its plating. It roars a final command: consume him. It unleashes a blast of psychic energy so dense it bends the light around it. The beam crashes into Hulk. The ground splits open beneath him. Orcs are thrown miles into the air. The atmosphere ignites green. For a moment, Hulk is buried under the weight of a god's fury. The hive mind whispers, "It is done." But inside the blinding storm, Hulk growls. Quiet at first, then louder, then earth-shaking. No. A blast of emerald gamma light erupts from the center of the beam. Hulk steps forward, one foot, then another. Every step shakes the world. He pushes through the attack, eyes glowing like twin supernovas. He roars, "Hulk is not done!" The attack collapses. The Tyranid god recoils in horror. The orcs scream with ecstatic madness. Look at him! He's walking through a god beam. He's the biggest wah there ever was. Wah! Hulk clenches his fists. The world trembles. The wad grows. The hive mind panics and Hulk charges, ready to strike the blow that will change the fate of the planet, the hive fleet, and himself. The Green Titan charges. The Swarm Mind's god avatar braces. The fate of the world trembles between their fists. The air itself seems to scream as the Green Titan sprints across the battlefield, a blur of emerald fire crackling through clouds of spores and debris. Every step splits the ground into gaping fractures. Every inhale draws the wok deeper into his veins. Every heartbeat sounds like artillery. The god beast of the swarm lowers its colossal head, claws spreading wide. Its mouth opens, a cavern of teeth arranged like grinding gears, and it emits a psychic roar so violent that mountains crack. Boom, the two forces collide. The shockwave is not sound. It is pressure, force, pure violence. A ring of green energy explodes outward, flattening orc encampments, blasting fungal forests to atoms, hurling lesser swarm creatures into orbit. The plains vanish under the impact. Where dirt once lay, only a crater remains, a massive scar glowing green at its edges. At the center of that devastation, two gods locked in the clash to define their species. The Titan ducks beneath a claw the size of a warship and drives his shoulder upward, lifting the entire god beast off the ground for an instant. The orcs watching from the ridge nearly pass out. He's lifting it! The Smasher God's lifting the big bar! But the god beast adapts, always adapting. Chitin thickens into obsidian black plates. Bone ridges spike outward. Flesh weaves into new layers of armor. A spined tail whips around fast as lightning. It catches the Titan across the ribs. A shockwave detonates. He is hurled backward hundreds of meters, skidding, carving trenches through the earth, smashing through boulders like they're dust motes. The orcs gasp. Some cry out. But the Green Titan rises, slowly, deliberately. He wipes blood from his lip. It evaporates in emerald flame. He snarls. Good hit. The orcs erupt in ecstatic screaming. The god beast's chest splits open, not with wounds but with intention. Inside, a pulsing organ forms, a psychic furnace, a synaptic amplifier, a weapon forged from the fear of the entire swarm. It pulses once. The Titan's aura flickers. It pulses twice. The weird boys scream, covering their heads, lightning bursting from their teeth. It pulses a third time, and a beam of psychic annihilation erupts from the god beast's body. It is not light. It is not fire. It is the raw, condensed will of the swarm mind. Reality bends around it. It tears across the plains, vaporizing everything it touches, and it hits the Titan head on. For the first time, the Titan is driven to one knee. The beam pushes him back, centimeter by centimeter, grinding the earth beneath him into molten slag. The orcs scream in horror. No! Get up! Smash a god! Smash a god! Believe harder, lads! And they do. Their belief flows into him like a river of green lightning, but the beam intensifies. The god beast roars with all the fury of the swarm mind. Submit. Die. Become nutrient. The Titan growls back. His muscles strain. Cracks of gamma light spiderweb across his skin. His eyes blaze brighter than ever. He rises from one knee to both feet, pushing back against the beam. One step, the beam falters. Another step, the ground shakes. The swarm mind howls. The Titan roars. Not done yet! With a bellow that tears the clouds apart. He cups the beam in both hands and heaves it aside, flinging it upward into the heavens. The sky explodes in a green nebula, and the Titan leaps, straight toward the heart of the god beast. Seeing the Titan's ascent, the god beast shifts forms again. 4 new arms split from its torso, each tipped with bone axes the size of battle cruisers. Its skull opens, revealing a second psychic mouth, dripping liquid thought, raw and burning. Its tail extends into a serrated whip hundreds of meters long. The swarm mind screams its command, end him. All 4 arms swing at once, the tail whips like a guillotine. The psychic maw charges another blast. The Titan crashes into the attack and smiles, because anger fuels him, because belief feeds him, because he is rising toward a threshold he has not yet reached. the threshold of a world breaker. He crosses his arms, catches all four blades. They shatter. The tail lashes. He grabs it, snaps it like a twig. The psychic mouth fires. He punches straight into the blast, and the beam sputters out like a candle in a hurricane. The Titan lands atop the god beast's head, emerald fire swirling around him like a crown. Orks stare upward, tears in their eyes. Weird boys collapse from psychic overload. The knob whispers, he's gonna do it. The Titan lifts both fists. The entire planet holds its breath. The god beast roars in despair. And the Titan bellows with lungs filled by fury and belief, Hulk. But he doesn't finish the phrase. That moment is Act 12, the moment the god beast meets its end. The green Titan stands atop the swarm's god beast. The Orks hold their breath. The hive mind screams in dread. And the blow that will echo through the stars begins. The Titan stands poised above the titanic monstrosity, feet planted on its armored skull, a silhouette of burning green against a bleeding sky. Gamma storms swirl around him. Wah of lightning cracks across his arms and spine, wreathing him in a corona of emerald fire. Below him, the god beast thrashes in terror. The ground heaves in waves as it claws, scrapes, and digs its limbs into the crust, trying desperately to shake him off. But he does not budge. Not an inch. His fists rise high. The Orks drop to their knees in awe. Their voices whisper like wind through a canyon. He's gonna do it. Dis is da big un, da god smash. Weird boys faint, their minds unable to contain what they are witnessing. The hive fleet above the clouds trembles. Tendrils writhe in fear. Bioships shift formation in frantic patterns. The hive mind speaks through every creature, every synaptic node. Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Millions of gaunts surge forward, climbing over one another in a tidal wave of flesh. Warriors charge, tyrants soar, carnifexes roar and leap, but the Orks throw themselves into the oncoming tide, screaming, laughing, glowing with shared madness. You ain't interrupting the smash! Back off, bugs! Let him finish! Whack! The Titan inhales deeply. The air crackles, the clouds part, the world goes silent. Then he roars a word that the Orks will carve into stone for millennia. Hulk! He descends. The fists fall. Two sons of emerald fury. They strike the god beast's skull with such force that shockwaves ripple through the mantle. Tectonic plates shift. Mountains collapse. The atmosphere ignites green. Entire swarms evaporate. And the hive fleet staggers as if hit by a meteor. Gah! The monster's skull shatters. Not fractures. Not cracks. Shatters like glass struck by the hammer of a wrathful god. The shock wave turns the battlefield into a crater hundreds of kilometers wide. The god beast collapses, its body breaking apart like a collapsing leviathan. The swarm mind shrieks throughout the void. No, 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 no. The Titan doesn't stop. He keeps smashing, again and again and again. Each blow triggers a seismic event. Each blow glows brighter. Each blow pours whack and gamma into a feedback loop of unstoppable rage. The god beast's body begins to disintegrate under the punishment. Its synapse core ruptures. Its psychic furnace implodes. A wave of raw psychic agony blasts upward, ripping through the sky and severing the hive fleet's unity. Millions of Tyranids collapse simultaneously, twitching in chaotic disarray. The Orks stare upward in open-mouthed reverence. One whispers, that was the biggest smash ever. Another corrects him, nah, that was the biggest smash that's ever gonna happen. The Titan rises from the smoking corpse, breathing slow and deep. His aura dims slightly, still immense, still divine, but stable. He looks up at the sky. The hive fleet is broken. Without its synaptic god avatar, its discipline collapses. Bioships drift, tendrils recoil, swarms scatter in panic. Across the void, the hive mind whispers in fragmented terror. He broke our god. The Titan flexes his fingers, his eyes blaze, and he says, next. The Orks lose their minds. Smash a god! Smash a god! He killed a bug god! We told you he could do it. Wah! But the god beast's fall is not the end. It is only the beginning of a new phase. The hive mind rallies. The fleet regroups. A decision forms. A terrible, desperate decision. One the galaxy has only rarely seen. One that could consume the world. The god beast is dead. The hive fleet reels. And desperation forces the swarm mind to unleash its most terrible adaptation. The battlefield is a storm of silence. Not peaceful. Not calm. But the stunned, trembling hush that follows a cosmic catastrophe. The giant corpse of the swarm's avatar lies sprawled across the shattered earth, a mountain of broken chitin and steaming ichor. The titan stands atop it, breathing slow, steady, divine. The orcs stare in reverent awe. Some weep, some laugh, some headbutt the ground, some faint. One simply whispers, "We's looking at a real god." But overhead, the sky begins to change. The vast swarm fleet previously scattered in panic suddenly stops drifting, then shifts, reforms, regroups. A terrible psychic pulse rolls across the atmosphere, so heavy the weird boys collapse to their knees, screaming. The knob squints upward. "What are they doing now?" A weird boy, clutching his skull, gasps. They giving up their bodies." "Giving up? Da whole fleet is melting into one." The hive fleet lights up like igniting oil. Bioships erupt into pillars of psychic flame. Spore barges liquefy into rivers of biomass. Synapse towers melt into cascading threads of neural matter. Tendrils recoil inward, curling around a single point. Every organism, every vessel, every creature in orbit dissolves, not dies, but feeds itself into a vortex, a psychic vortex. The sky darkens to pitch black. Lightning turns violet. The planet's magnetic field screams. Even the Titan pauses, narrowing his eyes. The orcs cower behind him. "What's that?" "Why's the sky going all wrong? Boss Day's doing something weird." The weird boys writhe in panic. "Tyranids, they ain't trying to run. They ain't trying to fight. They's trying to make something." A final lurch rolls across the heavens, and the entire hive fleet collapses inward, into a single descending mass of burning, screaming, living thought. A monstrous sphere of biomass, hundreds of kilometers across, falls from orbit like a newborn sun. It roars with the psychic agony of billions of minds. The ground trembles, the air distorts. A weird boy vomits green lightning. The knob screams, "Everybody get behind the smasher guy!" The Titan squares his stance. Emerald aura blazing, gamma winds roaring around him. His eyes narrow as he stares up at the falling sphere. He growls, "Hive mind trying something stupid." The sphere descends faster. Atmosphere ignites. A tail of psychic flame trails behind it like a comet. The core throbs with the combined synaptic force of a dying species. The hive mind speaks through the falling star. "If we cannot defeat you, we will crush the world beneath us." The Titan clenches his fists. Fine. He steps forward. The ground cracks. Mountains crumble. His aura ignites the very air. He whispers, "Hulk catch." The orcs stare in horror and awe. "He's gonna catch that? That's a bigger smash than a moon. Wah!" And the Titan leaps straight toward the falling psychic star. The world braces. The hive mind screams its final command. The orcs scream their final prayer. And somewhere between heaven and earth, a green Titan meets a falling god mind. The explosion that follows does not sound like thunder or artillery or planets breaking. It sounds like creation in reverse. A roar that shakes the warp. A blast that tears clouds to shreds. A shockwave that sends rings of green and violet flames sweeping across continents. Orcs are thrown miles back. The atmosphere ripples. The ground pulses like a living heart. And in the center of the roaring explosion, the Titan holds the psychic star in his bare hands, crushing it, pushing it, stopping it. The hive mind shrieks in blind terror. He is holding us. He is stopping an entire fleet. This cannot be. This cannot. The Titan roars back. Hulk is strongest. The sphere cracks, splinters, breaks, and the green Titan's body absorbs the explosion, turning it into pure rage and pure power. The light fades, the sphere evaporates. Silence. Ash drifts across the sky. and the Titan floats downward, glowing like a newborn star. The psychic star is crushed, the swarm mind collapses, and a silence unlike anything the Orks or Tyranids have ever known fills the world. The dust settles across the broken wasteland. Ash drifts from the sky like gray snow. Chunks of dissolved biomass rain down in slow, molten droplets, the remains of a hive fleet that tried to become a star and failed. At the center of the crater, the green Titan lands, softly, as if gravity itself has learned caution. His feet sink into glowing slag. He stands bathed in the emerald afterglow of a cosmic detonation he absorbed. Every breath radiates power. Every heartbeat echoes like a war drum. The Orks, thrown miles across the landscape, crawl out from rubble, fungus, and dust. One by one, they stagger to their feet. The Nob looks up, voice cracking. "Boss?" The Titan turns. His gaze sweeps the horizon, not angry, not furious, but calm, divine. The Orks gasp. That calm frightened them more than the rage. A weird boy kneels, shaking, eyes flickering green. Ease beyond angry now. Ease something else. Another weird boy whispers, "He ain't just a smasher god no more. He's the end god." The Nob swallows hard, then calls out, "Boss, you all right?" The Titan lifts his chin, eyes burning like green dwarfs. He answers, "Hulk fine." The Orks collapse in relief, some laughing, some crying, some punching each other because they don't know how to express emotion properly. But far above them, the sky is still wrong. A final psychic scream echoes across the cosmos, not a coherent voice, not language, a death throe, a species-level agony. Billions of synaptic nodes flicker out. Thousands of bioships fall into silent drift, derelict husks of flesh and bone, connections sever like snapped nerves. The hive mind whispers its final fragment into the world. We do not. The Titan looks up at the sky. He doesn't smile. He doesn't taunt. He simply answers, "Nobody understand Hulk," and the last shard of the hive mind goes silent. Across the battlefields, Tyranid organisms convulse and die. Gaunts collapse into heaps of twitching limbs. Warriors stagger and fall. The psychic burns fade from the air. Even the fungal forests stop screaming. Orks test their guns, poking the dead bugs. "Dat it? They really all dead? Can't believe it. That was WH40K legendary." One grot hesitantly approaches the Titan. He tugs on the giant's foot. "Boss, you smashed a whole fleet. You smashed dear God. You smashed a fallen star." The Titan looks down. The grot whispers, "You gonna smash anything else?" The Titan's answer is quiet, almost gentle. "Hulk, think." The Orks cheer anyway, but something is wrong. Something the Orks are too loud to notice. Something the weird boys feel in their bones. The planet's walk energy, once a roaring storm, now hums, steady, powerful, controlled, not fading. Not chaotic, but focused. The weird boys whisper among themselves, "He ain't just riding our belief. He's shaping it. He ain't just a god we made. He's a god making us. This is the birth of something new." The Nob overhears, frowning. "What you mean new? Smasher God's always been Smasher God." But the weird boys shake their heads. No, he's more now, much more. The ground trembles beneath them, not violently, but rhythmically, like a heart beating beneath the planet's crust. The Titan turns toward the horizon, eyes blazing. He cracks his neck and says, "Hulk not finished yet." The Orks freeze. "Not finished? There's more? Wah!" But they don't see what he sees. Not yet. Beyond the horizon, beyond the atmosphere, in the cold dark of space, something stirs. A ripple, a shadow, as if an ancient presence has noticed the Green Titan's existence. Something that did not expect a swarm to fall silent so suddenly. Something older than Tyranids. Something older than Orks. Something watching. The Titan narrows his glowing green eyes. He whispers, "Someone else coming." The Orks cheer blindly. "More stuff to smash! Best day ever! Smasher God ain't done!" But the weird boys shiver, because they feel it too. Whatever comes next, it isn't Tyranid. It isn't chaos. It isn't imperial. It's something bigger. Something that wants to test him. Act 29 ends on a rising shadow. The Hive Fleet is dead. The world breathes. But the Titan senses a new presence, something ancient, vast, and aware. A strange quiet settles across the ruined plains, not peaceful, not comforting, a watching quiet. Even the orcs, thick-skulled and joyfully violent, begin to notice. Fists lower, laughter fades, weapons are held instead of swung. The knob squints at the horizon. Why does everything feel weird? A grot whispers. It feel like something is looking at us. A weird boy nods frantically. It ain't the bugs. It ain't the warp. It ain't even Mork or Gork. He shivers. It's something bigger. The Titan hears it too, a slow, distant vibration, a hum older than empires. Not hostile, but curious. He turns his head slowly toward the sky. Emerald eyes narrow. His breath is steady, controlled, powerful. Orcs turn to him for guidance. Boss, what is it? He doesn't answer. Not yet, because the presence in the void is speaking. It begins as a whisper. No sound, no psychic pressure. No voice, just a presence. Vast, cold, eternal. The Titan's muscles tense. A ripple of gamma energy spreads across the ground around him, and then the whisper deepens into clarity. We felt your impact. The orcs flinch. Who said that? I ain't saying nothing. Stop talking in my head. But it isn't in their heads, it's in his. The Titan frowns. You talk? The presence responds. We observe. An outline forms in the sky, not a ship, not a warp rift. A silhouette, colossal, angular, silent. A construct of impossible scale. A shape that ignores the laws of physics simply by existing. One weird boy collapses, foaming green at the mouth. Another screams, "That's a star god!" The orcs immediately start panicking, fighting or headbutting each other in confusion. Which star god? I know. How many star gods are there? But the Titan stays still, calm, waiting. The present speaks again. We witnessed your war. We witnessed your ascension. We witnessed your defeat of the Devourer. The Titan growls softly. You next? The present shifts. Not closer, not farther, just reorienting. Like a celestial being tilting its head in mild curiosity. We do not devour. We do not corrupt. We do not rage. A pause. We assess. The Titan flinches slightly, not in fear, in annoyance. Hulk don't like tests. The presence pulses. This is not a test. This is recognition. The orcs freeze. Even the knob stops mid-argument. Recognition? From what? The outline in the sky sharpens, revealing a shape like a titanic, geometric being of living metal and starfire. A being older than the hive mind, older than chaos, older than the Emperor, older than the galaxy's wars. The weird boy trembles. That's no god we ever knew to the old ones, one of the metal star things. But the presence clarifies. Not one. All. The Titan's glare intensifies. His fists clench. What you want? The answer shakes the air like a cosmic chime. To know if you are threat. Orcs gasp. A grot faints. The knob roars. He ain't a threat. He's a god. The weird boy elbows him. For them, that's the same thing. The Titan steps forward. The world trembles. If Hulk threat, his aura ignites. A corona of emerald supernova. Then stop, Hulk. The presence hums. Curiosity deepens. You misunderstand. Threat does not mean enemy. Threat means change. The Titan pauses. Anger dims slightly. You broke the Devourer. You channeled a race's madness. You pierced the veil between mind and matter. This alters the balance. The Titan frowns. What balance? A long cosmic pause. Then the balance of gods. The air freezes. The orcs stare in reverent terror. The weird boy grabs the knob's arm. Boss, I think something really big is about to happen. The Titan's aura flickers, not weaker but shifting, as if straining against limits, pressures, cosmic scales. The presence finally speaks its purpose. We will come. We will see. We will decide. The sky distorts. Space ripples. The silhouette fades, leaving the world quiet again. But the Titan is not calm. For the first time, he looks thoughtful. He whispers, more gods coming. The orcs cheer like maniacs. Let him come. Smash a god, we'll batter him. We got him covered. Walk! But the weird boys tremble because they understand. Whatever comes next is not a swarm, not a fleet, not chaos, but the ancient architects of the cosmos themselves, and they are coming for him. The Hive Fleet is dead. The wag is quiet but thrumming, and something ancient crosses the void to look upon the green Titan. The air grows heavy, not with fear, not with psychic pressure, but with expectation. Even the Orks feel it. They stop cheering, stop headbutting each other, stop firing guns into the air. A hush spreads across the cratered plains as if the world itself has been commanded to stay silent. A weird boy drops his staff and whispers, "He's coming." The knob looks around nervously. Who's coming? The weird boy trembles. Not a bug, not a chaos, not Hume, not even one of the metal gods or old. He swallows, eyes glowing with a faint, terrified green light. Something older. The Orks stare upward as a star in the sky dims, then goes out, another dims, then another. A whole constellation collapses into darkness, as if something is blocking the heavens. Then, slowly, deliberately, the shape reveals itself. A colossal form descends through the upper atmosphere. Angular, perfect, silent, not made of flesh, not metal as Orks understand it, not psychic matter, something far older. The weird boy tries to speak, then vomits green lightning instead. The Titan looks up at the approaching being. He does not step back. He does not prepare to fight. He simply waits. The being stops miles above the ground, its shape so enormous that clouds twist around its form like veils around a deity. Its presence presses down like the weight of a dying star. Then a single resonant voice fills the air. You ended the Devourer's hand. The Orks drop to their knees instinctively. The Titan does not. He squints. Who you? The voice responds, we are the architects. A pause. The ones who shaped the first suns. The ones who taught the first species to walk and think. The ones who forged balance from chaos. The Orks don't understand a single word. One nudges another. What's he talking about? I dunno, but he sounds fancy. But the weird boys understand, and they quake in terror. Dim's one of the creators, one of the real star gods, older than the galaxy. The knob snorts. Well, Smasher God's bigger. The weird boy slaps him. No, he ain't. But the Titan raises his chin. His eyes glow. His aura intensifies, and he answers, Hulk smash creators too. The star god tilts its head, a 1,000-mile gesture of mild curiosity. We are not here to fight. We are here to understand. The Titan scowls. Hulk don't like tests. A faint hum fills the air, like a star sighing. This is not a test. You have changed the balance. The Devourer's vector has been broken. The greenskin gestalt has elevated you beyond parameters. The Titan growls, speak normal. The being obeys. You became a god. Silence. Then uproar. He said it. The star god said what we already knew. Smasher God is a real god! The Titan ignores them, stares up at the being. Why you care, Hulk? The being answers, because your existence forces change across the entire cosmic web. A pause. Because you are now a variable we did not design. Because gods fear imbalance. The Titan snorts. Hulk not care. The Orks cheer madly. That's right! Tell him, boss! You don't care, heck! But the being continues. We come to determine if you are a danger to the whole, not to destroy you, to know you. The Titan leans forward slightly, eyes narrowing, his voice low. You ask Hulk questions? A light pulses in the sky, a single cosmic chime. Yes! The Titan cracks his knuckles. Green lightning rolls down his arms. Ask fast. And Act 31 ends as the first of the ancient star gods descends to question the Hulk. An ancient star being descends not to fight the Green Titan, but to understand him. A meeting of divinity and fury begins. The air vibrates with a deep harmonic resonance. Not violent, not psychic, but mathematical, like the universe itself tuning an instrument. The enormous geometric being hangs in the sky, motionless. Clouds swirl around its edges. Lightning forms perfect spiral patterns around its body. The Titan stands beneath it, arms crossed, eyes glowing like twin green suns. The Orks huddle behind him in awe and nervous excitement. Boss, that big floaty thing ain't attacking? Maybe it's scared? Nah, it's too calm. I hate calm stuff. The weird boys tremble. The star being wants to talk to him. And so it begins. An ancient star being descends, not to fight the Green Titan, but to understand him. A meeting of divinity and fury begins. The air vibrates with a deep, harmonic resonance. Not violent, not psychic, but mathematical, like the universe itself tuning an instrument. The enormous geometric being hangs in the sky, motionless. Clouds swirl around its edges. Lightning forms perfect spiral patterns around its body. The Titan stands beneath it, arms crossed, eyes glowing like twin green suns. The Orks huddle behind him in awe and nervous excitement. Boss, that big floaty thing ain't attacking? Maybe it's scared? Nah, it's too calm. I hate calm stuff. The weird boys tremble. The star being wants to talk, and so it begins. A low rumble shakes the ground. The Titan lifts his head. The question appears like a burning symbol in the air. Who do you serve? Orks bristle. He serves the Walk! No, he don't. We serve him. Nah, he serves only Smash! The Titan raises a hand. The Orks fall silent immediately. He looks up at the star being. His voice is quiet, steady. Hulk served no one. The star being responds with unexpected intensity. Not even the greenskin just thought. The Titan's aura flares, hotter, brighter. Hulk not belong to Wak. He looks behind him, at the millions of Orks who believe in him. Then back to the sky. Wak belonged to Hulk. A shockwave ripples through the psychic plane. The weird boys gasp and fall to their knees. The star being registers this. Noted deviation from projected hierarchy. The sky darkens further. Lightning turns emerald. The Titan feels the weight of the question. Why do you fight? The Orks' answers erupt instantly. For fighting! For fun! For the smash of God! For wah! But the Titan ignores them. He thinks. A rare thing for him to do aloud. Finally he speaks. Hulk fight because something always tries to use Hulk. His aura tightens, pulsing with ancient pain and infinite anger. Hulk fight because somebody always thinks Hulk weapon. The air trembles. A memory flickers through him. One from a different universe, a different life, where humans tried to shape him, control him, fear him. Hulk fight because Hulk tired of being pushed. Hulk fight because Hulk want peace, but nothing leave Hulk alone. Even the Orks are silent now. This is not just anger, it is truth. The star being vibrates with cold comprehension. This answer is sufficient. The final question appears. The plane shakes, the horizon bends, the clouds freeze in place. What will you do now, God of Rage? This is the question that matters, the one the cosmos itself wants answered. The Titan lifts his gaze. His aura expands, a growing star of green fire. He looks at the broken Hive Fleet corpses. He looks at the cratered world. He looks at the Orks who now worship him. He looks at the sky where gods are watching. He breathes. Then answers, Hulk smash anything that tries to hurt Hulk world. The star being pauses. This is not your world. The Titan stares at the planet beneath his feet, at the Orks, at the ruins, at the battlefield he now stands over like a guardian, and says, now it is. The Orks erupt. That's our smasher god. He claimed the world. This is his place now. Wah! The star being hums, not with disapproval, but with confirmation. We understand you. We acknowledge your domain. This world is yours. The Titan's aura stabilizes. The star being begins to pull back into the upper atmosphere. A final message resonates through reality. Prepare yourself, Green One. Others will come, some to bow, some to challenge, some to destroy. The Titan cracks his knuckles, slowly, deliberately. Hulk ready. Act 32 ends with the sky returning to its stars and the cosmic game board shifting. The cosmic being withdraws. The Titan claims the world. And the Orks erupt into the greatest wog they have ever known. The moment the star being vanishes back into the void, the silence shatters. Orks scream. Orks cheer. Orks fire guns into the sky. Orks punch each other out of sheer spiritual enthusiasm. A tidal wave of green joy floods across the plains. The Nob leaps onto a rock screaming, "Lads, the Smasher God just told a star god no." The Orks roar, "No! He don't listen to no one. He's the god or not listening." Weird boys glow with green electricity, their heads buzzing like overcharged generators. One collapses, foaming green, shouting, "Dawa! It's too big! It's too big for me, Ed!" Then explodes into harmless celebratory wah fireworks. The Titan stands in the center of this chaos, calm, towering, radiating power. His aura is no longer wild or uncontrolled. It's steady, purposeful, divine. He watches the Orks celebrate, snorting softly. Orks loud. The Orks cheer louder. "Yeah! We celebrating your godness! Whack!" The Titan shakes his head, almost amused. While Orks brawl and dance, the weird boys gather around the Titan. Their eyes glow bright green. Their bodies vibrate with latent psychic energy. Some float, some flicker like candles. Some speak in voices not their own. One steps forward, trembling. "Boss, we saw it." Another weird boy finishes. To other star gods. A third chokes on lightning. Day's coming. The Titan's eyes narrow. "Hulk, no." The weird boys look at each other, fearful. "But dare's more, boss. Much more." This ain't just dare curiosity. They speak together, their voices blending into one warped chorus. It's a new wog. A wog across the stars. A wog that ain't stopped by ships or warp. A wog that spreads because of you. The Titan's aura pulses. Slow, heavy, predatory. "Hulk, 'cause wog?" The weird boys nod frantically. "A wog, oh gods. A wog that pulls attention from every corner of the galaxy. A wog that makes Chaos mad, Imperium scared, and the star gods curious." They kneel. "You started it. You started the god wog." The Titan looks down at his hands. He clenches them. Green fire runs across his arms like veins of molten emerald. A low growl rises in his throat, but not of rage, of acceptance. Good. The ground trembles. The sky pulses green. The wash strengthens. The Nob climbs atop an overturned tanker beast and screams, "Lads! Yes, seen it! Yes, heard it!" Daz Star God said our Smasher God is a real god. The Orks erupt like a volcanic detonation. "Real god! He's our god! He smashed a fleet! He smashed a star! He smashed a star god's questions!" The Nob lifts his chopper to the sky. "From now on, lads, this world, this place, this whole bit of space is Smasher God territory." The ground cracks from the volume of the wog that follows. The Orks drop to their knees. They chant in perfect unison, not as a war cry, not as madness, but as prayer. "Smasher God, Smasher God, Smasher God." The Titan feels the chant wash over him like a tide. He closes his eyes, not to savor it, but to ground himself, because he can feel something else. A pull, a ripple, a shift in the cosmic fabric. Something answering, something moving through the void. Not the architects, not the devourer, not chaos, something new, something coming because of him. He opens his eyes, they burn brighter than ever. He whispers, "Next one's close." The Orks prepare to scream, but the weird boys go pale. "Close? How close?" A tear opens in the sky, a small one. Silent, smooth, controlled, a pinpoint of impossible blackness dripping with starlight. The Titan turns toward it. His aura flares, the air distorts, the ground cracks. The wok rises like a storm. The Nob screams, "Lads, we got another one!" And Act 33 ends with a new cosmic challenger stepping through the rift. The sky tears open. Something ancient steps through, and the Hulk's godhood is put to the test. The rift widens like a wound in reality. It is not jagged like a warp tear, not violent like a chaos portal, not organic like a Tyranid breach. It is clean, precise, as if drawn by a cosmic architect with perfect intent. A hush falls across the world. Even the Orks feel it. Some drop their weapons, some instinctively bow. Some simply stare, mouths open, unable to comprehend what their eyes see. The weird boys collapse to their knees, heads crackling with unstable energy. "Boss! Boss, this one ain't right!" This one ain't from anywhere we know. The Titan steps forward. No fear, no hesitation. His aura expands, steady and controlled, like a star preparing to detonate. Come, and the rift answers. A silhouette forms inside the tier. Humanoid, tall, armored. But not in ceramite, not in living metal, not in organic carapace. The armor is smooth, white, reflective, filled with swirling patterns of cosmic energy. A flowing cloak trails behind it, shimmering like galaxies collapsing in slow motion. A helm conceals the face, featureless, a blank polished surface like the front of a starship with no windows. The orcs mutter, he look humy. No humy glows like that. He ain't chaos. He ain't nothing we ever seen. The weird boys know. They whisper a name spoken only in ancient Xeno records, a traveler, a walker between stars. One of the beings they study realities. The figure steps fully onto the battlefield. The rift closes behind him without a sound. He stands before the Titan, still, calm, assessing. The Titan tilts his head. You want Test Hulk too? The figure's voice is neither male nor female, not telepathic, not audible. It simply exists in the space around him like a thought spoken aloud by creation. I do not test. I witness. The Titan growls. He hates riddles. Speak plain. The figure raises one hand. A cosmic diagram appears, floating above its palm. The diagram shows a galaxy, a green flare erupting in the outer rim, Tyranid synaptic lines collapsing, warp currents bending, a rising wave labeled not in words but in conceptual shapes. The orcs stare blankly. One scratches his backside. Another tries to eat the hologram, but the Titan understands the meaning. His power reverberated across the galaxy. The figure finally speaks clearly. You altered the pattern. Your presence disturbs every calculation. I have come to witness the consequences. The Titan cracks his knuckles. Hulk is consequence. The orcs explode. Whoop, he told him! That's our smash of God! Why? But the figure does something unexpected. It bows its head. Not deeply, just enough to show respect. Then allow me to see your truth. Energy surges around it. Stars flicker inside its armor. Its cloak unfurls like wings made of nebula. The weird boys scream, he's gearing up. He wants to see him fight. Oh Mork, oh Gork, he wants a real showdown. The Titan smiles, a rare, dangerous smile. You want to see Hulk? He steps forward. Each footstep cracks the crust of the planet. Hulk, show you. The ground trembles. The sky turns green. The orcs chant, smash a god, smash a god, smash a god. The figure raises both hands. Starlight spirals around its fingers. A cosmic storm forms overhead. And the Titan, god of wrath, breaker of stars, avatar of Wah, tightens his fists and prepares to unleash the force that ended a hive fleet. Act 34 ends on the brink of the ultimate confrontation. The Hulk's god power versus a cosmic traveler who has come not to kill him, but to witness what he truly is. The cosmic traveler has come to witness Hulk's truth. The orcs chant his name. The galaxy trembles as rage and divinity fuse. The world holds its breath. The cosmic traveler hovers above the ground, cloak of nebula shifting like living starlight. Its armor pulses with constellations, runes of light drifting across its surface. It raises one arm, summoning a spiral of cosmic force. The Titan, the Hulk, rolls his shoulders. Green fire coils around his muscles. His eyes glow brighter than reactor cores. His heartbeat alone shakes the plates of the planet's crust. The orcs stand in a circle around them, trembling with excitement. Oh, this is gonna be good! He's gonna smash a Star Walker. Why? The weird boys can hardly stand. Their skulls thrum with psychic overload. This ain't a fight. No, this is something else. This is a revelation. The traveler speaks. Show me the truth of your existence. Hulk cracks his neck. Truth? He steps forward. The ground trembles and shatters. Hulk is truth. He lifts his fist. The cosmic traveler raises a hand in response, generating a barrier of shimmering starlight. The orcs scream, here it comes! Duck! I ain't ducking! I want to see! Hulk's fist meets the star shield. The explosion is silent. Not because it is weak, but because the sound is obliterated by the force. A shock wave expands outward, flattening terrain across miles. Orks fly through the air like screaming green fireworks. Mountains crumble at the edges. Clouds are blown into vapor. The traveler is pushed back, not far but enough. Its voice flickers. Incredible. Hulk growls. Not done. The traveler unleashes a burst of stars. Not heat, not lasers, but compressed starlight formed from the birth of solar systems. It hits Hulk in the chest. The blast carves a trench miles long behind him. Dust clouds erupt. But when the smoke clears, Hulk's chest glowing green, eyes burning brighter, he steps forward. Hulk, not break. The traveler's tone shifts, for the first time carrying something like emotion. Then you surpass even our projections. The orcs, picking themselves out of craters, begin chanting again, "Smash a god! Smash a god, why?" Their belief surges like tidal energy. Green lightning arcs from the sky. The wah expands into a massive psychic vortex. The ground pulses with living energy, and Hulk absorbs it. His aura flares. A nuclear green inferno surrounds him. Gamma and whack energy fuse, a miracle of violence. The weird voice screams, "He's drinking the wag! He's feeding off our belief! He's evolving!" The traveler tilts its head. This is unprecedented. Then, show me more. Hulk roars. The roar cracks the atmosphere. He leaps. The world shudders. Hulk slams into the traveler midair. The explosion becomes light, pure light. A sphere of white and green expands outward, vaporizing clouds, liquefying rock, and briefly suspending gravity. For an instant, just an instant, time hesitates. The traveler is thrown back into the sky. Its armor fractures. Fragments of starlight spray like shattering galaxies. The orcs lose their minds. "He broke a star god's face! Smash a god! Smash a god! This is the best day ever!" The Titan lands, creating a crater hundreds of meters deep. He looks up. The traveler stabilizes. Its voice is different now. Not calm, not neutral, reverent. "You are not merely a deviation. You are a new cosmic constant, a force that will echo through epochs." Hulk growls. Hulk not care about epochs. He points at the traveler. "Only care about smash." The traveler raises its hand again, but slowly, not as a challenge, as acknowledgement. "Then I have witnessed enough." The orcs gasp. "Enough? That's it? No more fight?" But the traveler continues. "You are not a threat to balance. You are the new balance. The galaxy will shift around you." Hulk steps closer. His aura dims slightly. "You leave now?" "Yes." "Others coming?" A pause. "Many. Some curious. Some afraid. Some hungry." Hulk cracks his knuckles. Hulk ready. The traveler begins to retreat into a new rift. As it fades, it gives one final whisper. "Green Titan, smash a god, breaker of stars, your legend has only begun," and it vanishes. The sky closes. The world goes still. The orcs erupt again. "He did it! He scared the star guy away! He's the smasher god of all reality!" The Titan exhales. Calm again. Balanced. Strong. He looks out across the world he has claimed. He whispers, "Hulk, protect world now. My world." Act 35 ends with Hulk, not just a god of rage, not just a titan of Gamma, but a new cosmic constant whose arrival has changed the fate of the entire galaxy. In the aftermath of godhood, destiny, and cosmic upheaval, the galaxy shifts around a single new truth. The Hulk has entered the 41st millennium. The world Hulk claimed, scarred, cracked, half burned by the death of a hive fleet, slowly heals beneath a green-tinted sky. The orcs rebuild not with tools, not with strategy, but with sheer enthusiasm and fist-fueled engineering. Great totems are erected, massive effigies hammered from scrap and Tyranid bone. Each one depicts the Titan in a different pose. Hulk punching a bio-Titan Hulk, smashing a star, Hulk roaring as Wa'ak energy swirls around him. Hulk lifting a moon-sized Tyranid organism over his head. The orcs chant his name like holy scripture. "Smash a god! Smash a god! Smash a god!" Every chant feeds the storm. Every belief stokes the wak. Every prayer sharpens the legend. The weird boys speak in hushed terror and reverence. He's making a new kind of wog. A wog that don't fade. A wog that changes worlds. A wag o' gods. The knobs kneel like worshippers at a shrine. Grot scribes carve the legend into fungus parchment. Far above in black space, the wound Hulk left on the galaxy is not forgotten. Imperial astropaths scream visions of a raging green sun. Eldar farseers quake at the rise of the green god of unbound futures. Chaos sorcerers sense a new variable that cannot be corrupted or predicted. Necrons awaken, coldly calculating the shift in cosmic power. Tyranid tendrils recoil from the region, their synaptic echo still trembling from the death scream Hulk inflicted. Across the galaxy, the ripple grows. It is not warp. It is not psychic. It is not purely gamma. It is belief, the one force even the old gods underestimated. The wog radiates out like a supernova, carrying the legend across systems like a contagious dream. For the first time in millennia, the galaxy questions itself. On the ruined plains of his new home, the Titan sits in calm silence. He has never looked more peaceful. Green fire dances gently across his shoulders. Gamma light pulses like a heartbeat. The wag breathes around him like a living storm. He gazes at the horizon, thinking in the rare way only he can. Not of destruction, not of rage, but of responsibility. My world now. He watches the orcs laugh and fight and rebuild. He snorts. They loud. But he doesn't push them away. He stands, cracks his knuckles, and walks the battlefield like a wandering god, searching for what is next to protect, what is next to smash, who is next to foolishly challenge him. The wah flares behind him. Orcs cheer as if the sun itself is getting up to stretch. Above him, unseen, the cosmic travelers watch. The architects observe. The silent star gods take note. The warp trembles. The hive fleets whisper warnings. The Imperium prepares its fear. And in the depths of the galaxy, a new constellation quietly forms. A cluster of stars, glowing faint green, taking the shape of a massive fist. The Hulk does not know it. The orcs do not understand it. The galaxy does not accept it. But all of reality has shifted around one undeniable fact. A new cosmic constant walks the stars. Not a Primarch, not a Chaos God, not an old one, not an emperor. But Hulk, breaker of worlds, patron of Wog, crush of high fleets, and now, smasher god of the 41st millennium. The galaxy will never recover, and it will never be the same. And so, upon the shattered crust of a world once destined for consumption, a new power rises. Not born of the warp, not forged by chaos, nor shaped by the hand of any ancient star god, but a wrath given flesh, a force given purpose, a god crowned not by divinity, but by defiance. The orcs call him the Smasher God. The cosmic travelers name him the Green Constant. The whispers in the warp speak only a single truth. A world once doomed now belongs to him. And through him, the galaxy trembles. For Hulk does not seek empire. He does not hunger for worship. He does not chase glory or dominion. He simply stands, a giant against the void, a guardian against annihilation, a force so absolute that even the ancient architects of creation pause and watch. What comes next? Who will dare step forward? What cosmic power, what tyrant, what god will challenge the green titan who walks between rage and destiny? These answers lie far ahead. But for now, one truth echoes across the void. Where Hulk stands, worlds endure. Where Hulk roars, gods listen. And where Hulk fights, the galaxy will never be the same again. This has been the tale of the Smasher God, the Hulk, the breaker of balance and the beginning of something far greater. Until we meet again out there in the stars.